All right, okay. Audio going, video going. Hi,
Booyah,
hello.
booyah.
I may edit back in cool cyberpunk music to the audio-only version. I may or may not have, as part of my getting myself together, played Chipping It at full blast a couple of times. Hi, welcome to the Sprawl, kids. This episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHarpa, Haka Comics, Architect 10, Lucas G, Carlos Qua, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Kylie Den, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Reach Raptor, Rogue Robin, Shiny P, Charvor, some guy named Bob, Son for 247, 20 Zach Reed. If you like what we do, want to do more consistent with Patreon, you get access to those early on, so figure comes out. Okay. Very cyber. Alrighty, we are playing the Sprawl now, for real. Real Sprawl.
Real.
So, if you want to know how we arrived at this position and how these characters got to be who they are, go listen to Session 0. It's only 5 hours. Well, we can wait.
Just
so,
pause and
before
come
we
back.
get to
It's a
it,
good time.
let us go ahead and why don't we go around the table and all of you guys introduce your characters again. Say your name, say your playbook, anything else you think is relevant about your look and whatnot.
All right, well, I guess I'll go first. So I am playing what is known as the Killer. Goes by codename Claymore, as in point towards the enemy. He's super cybered up, super violent, and has a super boner for Suzaku security solutions. I think that sells it pretty good.
Okay.
I'm the soldier, codename Odin. I make the plan and make sure the plan holds together. And if anything falls apart, I know what to do. He's got, I think, like the most case of like a moonlighting corpo, and maybe a bit something weird going on with AI and the weird eye. This is silly, but I think I just noticed an eye that saw me in the files joke in here somewhere.
There's a lot of eye jokes to be done. Okay. Alright, Odin. Moving on.
Guess I'll go next. Okay, my character's named Squirrel, and is pretty much playbook is the driver, and he goes mew. And he also has as Drone said, yeah.
Insert some Eurobeat here.
Also on the path of her.
I am Father Samuel. I'm playing the Pusher, and I am the face and the voice of this group. I don't do much combat.
Everything goes in our favor. We don't need to.
Okay. Alright. The Sprawl. It's a fresh morning in Pacifica, where we are set. The amalgamation of the various West Coast states after the Singularity War, when everything got fucked up. The great fucking. Currently, it is a nice sunshiny day as it dawns. The sun peeking out over the massive arcology towers set along the coast of the greater San Francisco Bay City area. The massive megaplex city. The old antique Golden Gate Bridge is there next to the super Golden Gate Bridge. No, they probably would have named it the Memorial after somebody famous in Pacifica. But yeah, there's a new bridge now. They kept the old one for historical value, but nobody drives there. And this whole city has grown up to be basically eating every urban and suburban area around the San Francisco Bay. Now it's all one megaplex. Pretty common these days for big cities to just turn all the smaller cities together. Why do you need to be separate cities? Let's all get together. And so we begin on a perfectly normal morning as the shade of the massive arcology towers falls onto the lesser known and lesser economic neighborhoods in the inner city. We will begin with Odin. What are you doing this morning? What's a morning like for you?
Caffeine candies, purified water, going into the office, turning on a VPN.
So you actually go to your office. All right.
Yeah. Usually because
keep appearances.
Keep appearances. We don't talk about. It's kind of against policy to talk about the soundproofing and all the walls, but
All right. So you're rocking your. Oh, what's you say? You're decent enough to actually have a little private office, or are you rocking a cube?
It used to be a cube last year. It's now like a smaller office, but like it's. Okay. I'm technically management for like this small block.
Okay, you have a small corner, not corner office. You got a small office, no window. You've got a holographic Keep Calm Kitty poster on the wall. One thing I wanted to bring up that I thought about off mic was because you're talking about you got transferred after your workplace accident. Mm-hmm. I wanted to say that if you're okay with it, your previous department at Cross Nexus was you were in asset protection. Mm. So loss prevention, asset protection, stuff like that. Security, keeping the keeping the trains running, keeping the ships going, making sure nobody steals anything, making sure Poseidon doesn't jack any of your shit as he wants to do. You probably spent a fair amount of time on the local shipping boats because you've got your sea legs for backstory reasons.
Yeah. I think I have logistics now, if that's it.
Actually, I wanted to say, I think you're in what we would call asset investigations.
Right.
That's supposed to be like insurance claims, actually investigating loss prevention, the intelligence arm to what asset protection does. What you actually do in asset investigation is much closer to corporate espionage, which is why you don't come into the office very much anymore. The spook stuff's not really for you. You're more a plans and occasionally a guns kind of a guy.
Yeah.
The whole, keeping up with the Joneses isn't really your thing. But you've actually come into work today. You slam back a Northwest brand purified water, guaranteed 0% salt, less than 1% heavy metals.
Charming.
And you pop up your display. You've got a modern holographic desktop, so, it's just got a little compact tower and all your screens display on your top of your desk. You've got the usual amount of corporate junk mail. Reports gotta get in, paperwork due, asking about this, that, the other thing. Are you gonna come to the company Korean barbecue, etc.?
Hey, barbecue.
Probably put in the the voice headset, or at least I guess the receiver port, because it's hey, voice commands.
Yeah. Don't you worry. Your corporate computer machine has a built-in microphone that may or may not be always listening to you.
Yeah. Probably need to change out the contact for the right eye. It always gets annoying.
But amongst your various normal, completely boring, worthless corporate mail, nothing that really makes you feel alive, You got a couple of people who ostensibly report to you. You mostly just rubber stamp their reports and, push it up the line, kick the can. But you do have one interesting piece of mail from your technical boss, Devin Dikla, VP of Asset Investigation, who you have a very special working relationship with. And he has left you a mail about an off-site meeting vis-a-vis some work-related things. So he needs you on-site for a work discussion. The attached address, you can put it into your, future smartphone, smartwatch. And it appears to be an address down in one of the the refugee neighborhoods that line a lot of the less influential parts of the city. You're very familiar with these areas, being a former refugee yourself. It's probably a little afternoon. Just the perfect meeting. You're going to miss your corporate mandated lunch break, so you're going to have to hustle out on your own time.
Yeah, let's probably just open the desk and pop out the tinted glasses, the right lens.
Yeah.
Way thinner than the left.
Yeah.
It's it seemed like it was a good time to come to work. He just kind of gets his shit together and then probably leaves within an hour.
All right. So you head on out to the site. You're having an off-site meeting. You follow the address through your AutoNav software, possibly using your tactical computer, even though that's gross overkill.
Depends if it wants to do it or not.
It does have built-in navigation tracking.
Taking a train or taking a car or one of the buses?
Take your electric scooter.
That's up to you. You're probably train and walk would be best to this neighborhood.
That's fair. I'm typically part of I'm also part of the corp that is in charge of the transportation bureau. So
you've probably got a corporate train pass.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was an express line or not. Probably don't do that.
Probably not to this neighborhood now. It's like I said, it's somewhere a little lower class, a little private, a little lo-fi.
The retirement district.
You jump on a train, you power out, you walk down from the station. You're now in a sprawling open bazaar type neighborhood of various, rapid construction block houses and prefab buildings stacked together with some old gentrified San Fran architecture of a variety of styles. You pass by a Victorian style house next to a brutalist concrete block house of apartments, all of which is, of course, in the loving, ever-present shadow of those giant corpo arcology towers that look out over the beach. Even at midday, everything is awash in neon lighting in a dozen different languages. AR graphics explode across your screen. Your tactical computer activates auto-filtering to get rid of them all.
That was at least a plus. That at least was a plus one time.
Yeah,
getting
you
like taking
stroll
every
on
item.
down. You have to turn down at least a dozen street food vendors trying to sell you things, some of which may or may not be fresh. And some of which, if they are fresh, you're not sure you want. Do you actually want fish fresh out of the bay? You don't know. Depends on which bay sector it's from. We haven't cleared out all the gross chemical runoff, heavy metals, bunch of mercury poisoning. You strolling down to the meeting site, you come upon a pachinko parlor. You walk in through the beaded curtain. It's loud as hell in here, not only because they have actual real-life pachinko machines with the balls going, which creates an incredible racket, but also because there are holographic screens plastered over every available surface on the walls, showing you a mix of both archived and live footage of ongoing baseball games. Baseball, of course, is going to be your premier sport in Pacifica.
What if they got any Guilty Gear pachinkos?
Oh, they've got all kinds of branded pachinko. They've got some antiques in the back, some stuff actually salvaged from the old country, but a lot of modern repros. There's also screens showing virtual idol concerts singing way too loud in Pacifica Linga, an awful bastard language of English, Japanese, and Spanish. But, you know, it's the local dialect.
So Japanglish?
Yes. Japansglish.
Probably some
Whatever you
weird
want
Spanish
to put
loanwords.
down.
You stroll on back to the antique machines, you know, and you are met by your contact, good old Devin Dickler. He is wearing one of the common styles in the Bay City area. He's wearing a traditional corporal suit cut, but the color pattern of his jacket is like a Hawaiian shirt. He's got palm trees and parrots on it, and he's got a very light pastel suit pants. Under it, though, you do know, as most people do when they go to the refuge hoods, just in case. You never know when the street gangs will start a fight and you get caught in the crossfire. He's wearing a tack vest under it. He's wearing a Panama hat and has augmented reality aviator shades on. And he is smoking an honest-to-God cigarette in a holder as he feverishly plays pachinko. By the way, the whole pachinko parlor smells of 3 or 4 different kinds of smoke. Tobacco, marijuana, maybe even some opium in the back, and then God knows what else, synthetic stuff. Maybe some incense? Is somebody burning incense in here? Smells like the street. That and half a dozen spices.
It's a weird thing you learn in corporate etiquette of just learning to pretend, you hide, covering your mouth when you breathe.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not flu season. Not everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
So you roll up. There's an empty machine on his side.
Probably like crabs and coins.
Yeah.
They'll probably exist nowadays just for these machines.
With pachinko, actually, you use the balls as currency. So
Right.
Sorry, my mic was off because you missed me hearing going balls.
Yeah.
Real loud.
No. You notice that there's a small bag of pachinko balls set on the machine next to him. It's perfectly free for you to go ahead and sit down, do some pulls.
I'd probably start doing a few pulls.
Yeah, blend in.
Set a tone for a few minutes before asking some things.
All right. You do your requisite playing. You're just casual looking up. How are you dressed right now, by the way?
I probably got a similar corp cut. I've probably been this entire time nervously touching my side swept hair and readjusting it back over my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody slides down a bit.
Yeah. Do you sweep it so it covers the side of your face with the scars from where you
the
got shot
forehead
in the
scar?
face?
Yeah. A lot of the actual stitching around the eye has been okay. It's mostly just the weird
sometimes you look a little weird in the light, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
By the way, I also want to throw out visibility in here is a couple of feet between the awful low glow neon lighting, the horrific blue lighting of the pachinko screens, the holograms, and of course the ever present smoke.
I've probably seen worse in a naval storm.
Oh yeah, no. At least you're not wet. It's not very humid right now.
Yeah, at least it's not.
So you sit down next to him, you play a couple pachinkos, you win some balls, you lose some balls. Dikla, out of the side, just kind of slightly checks you out of the corner of his glasses, just says to you, Nakano, good of you to come.
Nice to you, sir.
Got a business opportunity. It's a company job, but it can't be on the books. You know how it is.
Of course.
He passes you a photonic crystal data chip. Info's all on here. It'll be a job for, against RGC. I figured you were the man for it. He's speaking, of course, of Rio Grande Combine, a heavy industries company.
I know a few things. I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. Well, I figured we'd get here first if you want to ask any introductory questions, but I've already taken the liberty of hiring some specialists you'll need. Info's all on the chip.
All right.
So, do you have anything you want to, before your associates, gee, I wonder who they could be, show up, do you have any questions you want to ask him about the job right now?
Yeah, I just need to think on it for a moment, if that's fair.
Sure. He would probably say to you now, though he'll repeat it later, that it's a smash and grab job.
All right.
Destroy or recover. He'll go over the details once the mission crew is here.
How much heat you expecting?
The usual amount for RGC. Something a little spicy. I'll give you the details once they're here.
All
But
right.
I hired a heavy hitter just in case. Contacted a heavy hitter, technically. You guys don't have the job yet.
So for that to be the moment I just bust in.
All right. Axe, if you think of any questions you want to ask him before these guys roll up, you can.
No,
ask
I
him.
think
We
they're
can
probably
go
stuff that'll probably be explained later anyway.
back. Okay.
I'm just-
All right. So I think that's a perfect moment. So I have two questions. One, Claymore, what were you doing this morning when you got a covert call, routed through an anonymous third party to show up to a pachinko parlor for a job?
Sleeping in after a somewhat wild night.
All right. What are obviously everybody's been doing work down here in San Fran because you're spoilers, you're all expected to show up in person to the meeting. That's why it's covert. But do you have a place in San Fran, or was this
Nope.
like a stay over at a capsule hotel?
Capsule Hotel.
Right. So you,
like mine.
drag yourself out of bed, you pull up your phone,
Yep.
you got a message on the job net, be here this time. It's like 15 minutes after Odin was supposed to show up.
Oh, no rest for the wicked. All right, gonna tap the call girl on my side and say, "I'd like to see yourself out, darling. Get up, take a shower, grab some hearty nutrient paste."
Oh, there's a vending machine in every floor of this capsule hotel.
Yeah, they're like shovel it down and get the cheapest coffee I can. It's like my purse strings might be a little tight now, but I'll pull up the address, squint at it, mutter about how all these screens just get more and more confusing every time I look at them. Hit the auto nav, and I will head off, taking some local transportation. I've kitted out in some rough and tumble wear. Some nice, what's the way to say it? Utility jeans, a sturdy jacket. I got some big shades on. Big shades.
You've got the full wraparound?
Got the full wraparound. And I picked me up a pack of ganja. The light stuff. Only want to get a bit of a buzz this morning.
All right,
So
Odin, you see the man we've just described. What is it safe to say Claymore strides in through the beaded curtain?
Yep. I've been in these kind of places before.
Mhm.
And you just hear him say pretty loudly, "Nice."
I
Alright.
feel like Odin recognizes you by voice, but
Do we have a link?
Yeah.
Yeah, then yeah.
Yep, yeah. You look over, you see that guy, you recognize Claymore. You know his kind of work.
Do I have a Claymore?
I don't think I ever physically.
No, I don't.
I think I physically have seen him face to face, but I've heard his voice a few times before.
Yeah. You've probably seen him on some closed circuit TV footage. Dicklum mutters as Claymore approaches. Told you I got a heavy hitter.
Oh, that's right. You got the heavy hitter.
Hey, sir. Good to see you again. I tip my cap at you, but I'm not have it right now. This everybody? This is gonna be a hell of a skinny job.
The organizer just holds up two. I held up 2 fingers in real life and bumped my mic arm. He holds up 2 fingers, waiting on 2 more. You're the muscle, obviously. He points at Odin. He's the brains.
Brains.
He's got all the intel.
Claymore, kind of slides his big shades down to give you an eye. Let me double check my character. I don't think I have links with you. I have.
I don't think you do
No,
because
no.
you weren't on that job.
No.
You don't. You haven't heard much of how this guy Odin runs his business.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a job together, or at least I did. I think I did all the. I think I did the back end stuff for you on the bank job.
Sir, this ain't his first run now, is it?
No, he's also got experience with the target, but we'll discuss that more once everybody's here.
All right, well, better get living or better get dying. I'm gonna go get me. I'm gonna go. That machine right there looks like it needs a little bit of loving.
So
And
you're gonna go up to the counter, get some balls.
get some balls.
All right. There is an ancient-looking, nondescript Asian woman also smoking a real cigarette out of a cigarette holder.
Mhm.
She takes your cred cash, and you get a bag full of balls.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see a little behind the counter. You notice that in addition to normal pachinko parlor prizes, and they do have a cash return policy, there's also a few odds and ends back there. Like you think you see a couple of bits of iron, maybe some other stuff. You can get all kinds of things as pachinko prizes.
Claymore once again goes, nice.
So, who wants to roll up next? Actually, I should say, yeah. Let's do it this way. So Squirrel, what were you doing this morning?
Okay, right. Lost my train of thought. Okay, actually, let's see. I would say, okay. I had it all thought out of my head and then just went out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just have to make it up on the spot here. Okay, so you're going to say he's actually been up since 3 a.m. in the morning due to early morning transportation of the CEO of Pacifica Investments.
Oh, big money.
And well, afterwards, he's just been more or less out in his car, just probably eating some sort of wrap and just taking some stuff to keep awake.
Okay. So is it safe to say you were out of town when you got the call and you drove in?
Yeah.
All right. You get your own little anonymous message board. You get a driver for a job. Meet here this time.
It's just scrolls through it, and it'll just they'll start driving over there, anxiously looking around.
All right. All right. So this is a good question. Do you just roll right up to the door of the pachinko parlor in your car and get out, possibly illegally parking on the sidewalk, or are you gonna find a garage, park, and walk? Keeping in mind, you guys are showing up to a covert job offer meeting.
Right. You'll find a garage complex and park.
All right. You park. You use some of your petty cash that you got in your glove box.
Yeah, and it'll just cover up his face and all that before getting out.
All right. So you roll up into the pachinko parlor. How are you dressed today? How are you looking?
I guess corporate leather, mask or mouth and whatnot, and some shades to cover the eyes so you don't really see very much of his face or be able to recognize stuff. He's actually, because when he enters in the pachinko parlor, his eyes are darting about sort of like rodents would.
You look around, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody you recognize except for some of those people in the back there. So do you? Actually, this is a good question. Do you have links with either of the characters present right now?
Odin and Claymore.
Okay. All right. So
So it'll just scurry on in, notice them. You'll just nod.
Right. You roll in. You're wearing some motocross-looking leather pads.
Yeah.
Looking like a boss.
Yes.
Right. Yes, you did. You exploded for a second. Do you need a sec to do anything with the video, or are you okay?
The problem is my computer completely shut down. I lost power for a second. So I could restart up the recording again, but all that which was in between me exploding, I just don't have. So maybe just skip the visual component this time, maybe?
All right. We can throw it out there that there's just a technical goofus.
Yeah.
You'll miss some of the side chatter.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to keep in mind to mention some side chatter. For instance, Odin's candy habit, since that's lost forever now. All right. So Squirrel rolls up. Dickla just holds up one finger. All right. Transport. So that leaves us with Samuel, a.k.a. Metatron. What are you doing in the morning when you get a call to go to a job?
Okay. So at about 6:30 in the morning, I wake up, I stretch my arms. I do a 360 of my apartment building. Check all the rooms in it. Make sure nothing is amiss.
No, you have not been stalked in the night. Nobody's stolen anything.
I have to make sure. I fix myself a very nice breakfast of coffee and good hash-style omelet. And then I take out a digital pad and start going over my paperwork for the morning.
All right. You find in one of your special private email drop boxes, the kind of thing you get from some of your corporate contacts, a little, job inclusion. Got something you might be good at. It's got to be an in-person meet. They want you down at an address in one of the refu hoods a little after noon.
Okay. I look at myself, look at the address, and my brain starts churning. I will call one of my security guards, and I ask them to pick up some clothing from a less expensive store.
Right.
Also a big hat.
Oh, that can easily be arranged. Do you have any input of the fashion of these clothes, or do you want the GM to go wild?
Make them look like poor people clothes.
Okay. All right. So
that varies wildly. Still,
Metatron.
I don't know. In character, I know that. Out of character, I'm sorry. Out of character, I know that. In character, my character has no idea what other people wear or what peasants wear.
Yeah. All right. So, you Metatron roll up. In addition to your normal appearance, you are armed with a black synth leather trench coat, some actually distressed jeans, not fake distressed.
Okay.
And some sort of thrift shop T-shirt for a band name you don't recognize that probably went extinct 20 years ago. And
the Rolling Stones, and somehow they're still playing.
Oh, they're digital ghosts now. They've got a pitch perfect deep.
No, Keith
deep
Richards
fake
is
AI.
somehow still alive.
Yeah. He went full body prosthesis. It's just his brain in a jar. No, but yeah. And you've got a wide brimmed cowboy hat on.
And that also goes with my full chrome plated face mask.
Yeah.
100% covered.
So this guy walks in. You're in the pachinko parlor as described. You see some people you know in the back.
Yes, all of them. I recognize all of them.
All right. Yes, you've worked with all these people before. All right, and so you
I
roll
only
up.
Does anyone actually recognize me?
Probably not by appearance necessarily, because as we've noted, you're usually off-site for a lot of your jobs. Though you will have occasionally had to do in-person meetings like this. It's very secure,
I think the only one I worked on site with was, I believe it was Claymore.
Claymore might recognize
the mask.
Yeah, the style of your mask. Then,
yes.
So, I know your voice, but I think that's it.
Yeah, Metatron.
I should
rolls
put
on
the mask in tabletop. I do have a picture of it.
8.
Ignore the logo in the corner.
Fair enough. Well, that's fancy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right. Rolls up. Nobody bats an eyelid. This is a pachinko parlor in the refu hood. They've seen weirder shit. You see an overweight, balding 40-year-old man in a sailor fuku that's bright pink and way too short for him. He doesn't shave. You walk by another person playing pachinko she's clearly strung out on something, but she's wearing a dress that appears to be made entirely of neon LED tubing. Keeping in mind, it's about lunchtime.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
I'm probably also having my daily business work relayed to me in my ear right now.
Oh yeah, you got
through my comms.
Yeah, you got a light day. You can solve most of your problems. You just have to say you're out of the office on something for any meetings or attend virtually.
Yes.
Oh,
or I'll send a proxy.
Yeah. All right. So he approaches last. Roll up. Guy with the job, nods his hat and says, "That's into. All right, everybody's here. All right, here's the job. Details are on the chip." He taps the chip that's sitting by Odin. This will be a search and a recover or destroy operation against Rio Grande Combine. He, pulls up some displays subtly on his own smartphone. Details are included, but I need you to acquire or destroy the plans and prototype of a new type of satellite drone that RGC is building. This is designed for a advanced cloud computing drone. It's supposed to go in upper atmosphere, low orbit, big parallel network drone. You get me? He holds up his hand, does some expansive gestures. RGC is planning on using this to improve their automotive wing, make their car smart navigation better, faster processing, and also has space exploration implications. This is off the books, but as you can tell, CrossNexus is interested in acquiring this technology to enhance our public and mass transit systems. I would like you to acquire at least one of the items, either the blueprints or the prototype, and then capture or destroy the others. This is to prevent RGC from recovering the project. This is a limited time opportunity, folks. The targets are held in one of their big old transit yards down on the south side. Big industrial yard where they store all their stuff. And I've got word on the street is that in a couple of weeks they're planning on smuggling it out through the Arizona Free Economic Zone. So if you guys don't remember, Arizona was one of the places unlucky enough to not be properly incorporated by one of the new nations and has instead been horrifically corporately balkanized and is the current site of a four-way proxy war with corporate backers between Pacifica, Deseret Territory, the Republic of Texas, and Mexico. So it's a very lawless, loosey-goosey zone, but because it's not as locked down as somewhere like Pacifica, it's a lot harder to do a simple smash-and-grab job. So he's got all the details on there. He says, you'll notice there's no matrix specialist in this. It has to be a low-tech job. RGC employs a massive amount of drone jockeys and hackers to manage all their automated systems running their yards, so matrix overwatch is really difficult. I instead elected to go for a small infiltration team. All the details are included. Everything's ready to go. Just need your word that you're ready to do the job. You got any questions before we get started? So we'll open up the field. Does anybody have any questions?
Does he have any communication devices on him?
He has a standard issue, whatever the future smartphone is, a hollow phone.
Then he will hear out of that. What time? Do we have the time and destination, I assume, in the ship?
Yeah. I don't have an exact time frame for when it's leaving, but I got a block in there. The goal will be to secure it before then. It should be on site until then. Details are all included. Don't want to discuss too much even here.
Understood.
He says this as one of the holographic displays next to you has a virtual idol who looks like a giant sentient teddy bear with twin tails of flame breaks out into a heavy metal tier guitar solo, yelling something in Spanish about, something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you know. The grammar doesn't even work. Who understands music these days?
Right.
Anyway.
Sorry, my mic was off because I was still futzing around with stuff. Heck.
Yep.
Claymore will just nonchalantly call out, "Hey, is this supposed to be a quiet evening or a loud party?"
It depends entirely on you. I'd recommend not starting loud. RGC knows how to bring the heat with some of their drone tech, but if you gotta do what you gotta do, my purpose is acquire and destroy, so whatever works for you.
And I assume...
And I'm assuming if maybe a little bit more gets a little bit louder and a little bit more crazy than usual, you're not gonna mind.
I mean, I prefer if you don't destroy both sets of targets, but I don't give a fuck. It's RGC.
Claymore goes back to playing.
You hear from the idle display. I assume you have no knowledge of this and are not associated with us in case of our capture.
Correct. This is off the books. You're just doing a job for a guy in a pachinko parlor.
Of course.
There will be no official assistance from CrossNexus.
I stare pointedly at Odin, of course.
Well, I think all of you have your own corporate connections, which could be quite confusing if any of you were to be caught individually. But as a team, I'm expecting that RGC will just be completely bamboozled.
I assume so.
I do.
He gives everybody a pointed look
Right.
when he says this, because you all have your own corporate contacts. So.
Oh yeah, he knows my identity, doesn't he?
He at least knows your cover identity.
Oh no, he knows my pseudonym.
He knows your pseudonym. But
Okay.
you can assume that he's in touch with somebody from your network because that's how this job offer got to you. So he may know some things about what you're about.
Just to reconfirm, private site, not like main block.
No, this is a private, wholly owned target. RGC Industrial Yard.
Okay.
And I assume whatever force we deem necessary is authorized?
Oh, yeah. That's right, he's here. He points at Claymore with his cigarette holder.
I assume so.
Claymore throws up a V for victory.
Obviously, you guys should apply as much force as you feel you need on target, but it'll be wholly owned RGC security, plus any other, freelancers I got.
They used to. I'm used to most of the things are still automated nowadays, right? They haven't put more hands on grounds.
Oh, shit, you don't have to do the intel. I only know what's the latest in the public.
Fair enough.
Alright, it sounds like, if we don't have any super great questions to go into, it's time for somebody to roll to get the job.
Alright.
Yep.
I believe...
It should be Soldier Boy, probably.
Okay.
He's most of the combo, and it is an edge roll, so go ahead and roll plus edge.
Alright.
Actually, where'd I put my die? This monitor's way too big. I mean, it's not too big, but it's bigger than my main monitor, so now it's weird.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to rejigger some things.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That's a 4 and a 6, and that's +2. That's a 12. That's a 10+.
Alright, so
Nice.
on a 10 plus, you get to pick 3 from the list. For the sake of everybody at home, I will read from it. So, on a 10 plus, you choose 3 from the list below. The employer provides additional useful information, intel. The employer provides useful assets, gear. The job pays well. The meeting doesn't attract attention. The employer is identifiable.
I picked the bottom one we don't need because we already went through that.
I mean, you guys may or may not know who this guy is, but Odin does, but that's a personal thing. You would have problems if you identified this guy, but yeah. You can decide to skip it if you want, so.
I think we're going to go with probably the meeting doesn't attract attention.
That's good.
And I say we do the job pays well, and then it's between if we get information or assets. They say they weren't funding us, so it's probably information and the job pays well.
Alright, so doesn't attract attention.
Oh, it's your roll, your pick.
Yep.
Yeah. So the meeting did attract attention, the job pays well,
There-
and provide useful info.
I don't think there was a wrong answer, except for identity of the dude. That was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
That's not relevant for this first job, but okay.
That was the only wrong answer.
Yeah, we're trying to take it. So in this case, intel mean is as in I get an intel to use.
Yes, so now is the time to explain intel and gear, which basically, you do this during the action phase. You will spend your total intel and gear. So anybody can spend these, but Axe can keep track for us.
I'll
can track it up because he's got the intel right now. You basically use this for the moves, produce equipment or reveal knowledge. So if you're in the action phase and you need a particular piece of equipment for the narrative, you spend one of your points of gear and produce a piece of equipment. It has to be something, small enough you could have reasonably obtained it, but it just makes sense. So it's like, oh shit, I need an electronic lockpick. Gear, I've got one. Boom.
And then we get a +1
Or bolt
to
cutters.
do anything involving this information.
Yes, and intel similarly is, do I need to know something? You reveal knowledge you have of the opposition's preparations, dispositions, or environment. Describe how you discover that information, spend intel. You take +1 forward to exploit the opportunity. So, for example, you could roll up to the site and be like, oh, I know what today's, fence key code is. How did I find that out? You reveal, you've got the intel, you spend it, you would take +1 forward if that required a roll. You could know exactly, what brand of forklift they use, what kind of coffee the manager likes, whatever you think would make sense to do there. So
I know
you've
the
got
drum
one intel already.
I know the drum rotations, stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, the only other thing is that now that we've got the job, we need to get in, and people need to nut up some cred for this, which is how you get paid. Though, obviously, with the pays well, you will actually get quite paid. So, let's see. Where is that description? Getting the job. Is it actually running it? So, getting the job.
Yep, you can see.
Get the job. Just talking at the job. Listener failures. That's in, mission planning. Where's the actual... Because you've got to, you got to stake your cred, so... Is that in the basic moves version? Sorry, it's my first time running the system. I try to remember where everything is in the book.
I'm checking too.
Contact knowledge, helping your fear, no, okay. So that's not in there. Just gonna Google the word stake. Okay, here we go. After someone has got the job. Okay, so after someone's got the job. So you've got the job. Cool.
Explain the mission structure in particular, explain the legwork and action phases and stuff.
Yeah, no, I got that. We'll get there in a second. I was just trying to think, okay, where's the cred stake? So, here's how this works. Everybody will stake 1, 2, or 3 points of cred on the success of the mission.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cross that cred off your playbook, it's just gone. That's basically like, you're going to invest the cash you have on hand now to get the job done. If you complete the mission and get paid in full, you get back twice the amount you staked. If the result was the job pays well, you get 3 times the amount you staked.
Oh.
However, do be careful. Everybody who chooses to stake 3 cred, that means you're putting a lot of money into the job. You're making waves. I will advance either the legwork or the action clock alternating. Action clock first, legwork clock last.
I was going to do 2 anyway. But yeah, thanks.
To basically to show that you guys are putting a lot of fucking money in this and people are noticing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, how much cred would everybody like to stake?
I'm staking 2.
2.
Alright.
2.
I'm gonna stake 2.
Everybody stakes 2, so that means you'll make a total of 6 if you do the job well and it gets paid. You don't make any waves. Everybody's down to 3 cred.
Okay.
So, he's got all the detail on the thing. Once you guys have agreed to the job, he basically is like, alright, I'll leave you to it. And he, finishes out machine, collects... he doesn't collect his balls. He leaves them in the machine and, trundles out, waves to the lady behind the counter, and is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys are in what's called the legwork phase. So, basically, you guys have a little bit of starting intel. I'll cover some of it in a second. But now you're at a point where you need to figure out your high-level plan, get ready to go, acquire any additional assets, more intel or gear, anything specific you want to work on, kind of a thing, to get out there and figure out what's up. We've already covered what intel and gear does. There are a decent number of moves you can use at this point, depending on how you want to do things. So, the easiest, obviously, are stuff like research or hit the street for contacts. If you're looking for specific things, getting your contacts, doing specific research. You could also, for instance, go to the job site and roll assess. Take a look at the thing, figure out some info. And let's see. Yeah, hit up the street is how you mostly get intel or gear. And then intel will get you in research. You can also, I believe, straight up try and spend your cred for some gear. It talks about that in the actual, using your cred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spending 1 cred will get you, useful information with contact, basic restricted gear. So you can always consider spending some of the cred you haven't invested on additional things to, get a bit of gear out there.
Right, not the. I'm just checking. It's like I roll my thing, and when we start the mission, this is planning the mission.
Yeah, if you're actually doing your planning thing. The only other thing I want to mention to you guys is the legwork clock. So, what's a good description of the legwork clock? So, yeah, okay. So the legwork clock tracks how close you are to exposure. So basically, people are gonna how much noise you've generated in your investigation and prep, and how much the enemy's gonna be ready for you. So basically, the way this says is right now everything's at 12 o'clock. Everything's cool. As it advances, you'll start making some noise. You'll start to make rumors. As we go into the higher levels, like at 2100, etc., they start to get more reliable information. This starts to advance the action clock. And if you go all the way to midnight, time's up, we straight up advance a relevant corporate or threat clock because they know you guys are doing and they know you're about to come at them. So this is kind of like when you're investigating, when you miss legwork rolls or when the fiction gets in there, you guys are going to possibly cause problems as people start to get towards you. You're going to work on some of your specific things. You didn't get the job. Okay, yeah. I think that's everything about the legwork phase. The only other thing to mention is the other thing about the legwork clock, not only is it a ticking clock for basically how blown the mission is, you don't fail until the action clock is full up, but if your legwork clock fills up, that means it's basically like, okay, we have to do the job now because they know we're coming, and it's going to be bad. But the other thing is, where is that notation about? Actually, is it in getting paid in my MC sheet? Yeah. So, when you finish the job, and hopefully you've collected it, by the way, I will give you your mission directives in a second. That's important for EXP as well. When you roll to get paid by your employer, you roll and add the number of unfilled segments of your legwork clock. Keeping in mind that the legwork clock will be advancing. Let's see, does it advance every time you miss or just every time, period? Here's actually... I wish the layout for this PDF was slightly better, because there's a lot of, multiple references to things, but they don't always give you all the rules every time.
Yeah, I get that happens with, Power by Broncos stuff sometimes.
But, basically, if you get the job done right with less legwork, you have a better chance of getting paid cleanly at the end.
Okay.
Though obviously it's still a straight up 2d6. So
we were not given any equipment, correctly?
No, you do not get any additional gear.
Okay.
What intel?
He gave you the vague intel, which is there's a lot of background information on that chip.
Which is why I feel like before we start forming
Okay,
a full plan,
when you miss legwork, rolls them as the fiction dictates. So whenever you're missing rolls to get some of your pre-intel, and whenever I think that you're
So do we want to do legwork before, or do we want to do legwork after?
I think we should.
Well, you have to do the legwork phase first.
No, I mean like before we do we do it before that we see the mission chip or afterwards?
Oh no, the mission chip is just kind of vague. But here, I'm going to give you the directives. So everybody mark experience. You've accepted the job.
All right.
Yay!
So you've got 2 core goals: recover or destroy the satellite prototype, and recover or destroy the satellite blueprints. And then when you complete the mission, you mark 2 additional experience. So there's a total of 5 here. If you get all your tasks done, you'll be about halfway to a level up.
And I'll get one if we get paid. So hey, fun.
And the general information you have physical descriptions of the items, and you know what their project code is. This is a project called Project 3i. So you will know when you find the blueprint documentation and when you find the prototype what you're looking for. Your pre-mission has extra intel on it. We don't know what that intel is until you choose to use it, if you so choose to, but it's got generic information about the target. You know the rough location you're looking for. You know that he warned you that he's not bringing in any Matrix support because RGC has fuck tons of sysops and hackers who basically run all their drone shit that automates their industrial yard. And you know that the 2 targets are somewhere in there, so to figure out where those things are, you probably need to do some of those legwork moves we talked about, stuff like assess, hit up your contacts, research, etc.
So,
what is hitting up contacts based off?
Style.
Yeah, when you go to a contact for help, roll style.
I believe that would be my.
I have
area.
Before we go there, I have a general idea of a rudimentary plan that might change, but here's a base idea of how we get into it.
I mean, we need more intel before we form a plan.
Fair enough. I have a plan of entry.
We know nothing.
Fair enough.
I am going to hit up my contacts for information on just general, like, I'm going to hit up my contacts at, it's Rio Grande, right?
Yep.
I'm going to hit my contacts up at there to see if they have any information on the layout and stuff. And I'm going to hit up other contacts to get a few pieces of equipment.
All right, so we'll work with this one at a time. And I don't actually know if you can hit up multiple contacts. You need a favor from a new contact, name them and describe. You can only declare contact once per mission, though certain playbook moves may allow you to gain more contacts in a similar way.
Oh, so the contact that I'm hitting up that is in Rio Grande would be part of my believers.
Okay, all right, so we'll work on that in a second. Hold on.
Because I did state that I have some in all of the major corporations, which is why I took spread out and well connected.
Yes, you are spread out and well connected. Okay, let me look at yonder pusher. Believers. Okay, so your gang counts as a contact. All right, so they are not. So you basically start with a predefined contact. So if you're hitting them up first, go ahead and roll plus style to try and get intel. You are asking first and foremost about the layout of the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so roll style. Rest of you go ahead and feel free to think about what you're doing.
Well, that helps. I got a 13.
Okay,
Damn.
so
I rolled an 11 plus my 2.
on a hit, you get what you want, so you'll get some layout information. And on a 10 plus, you get something extra. Either choose intel or gear. So would you like?
I'm going to go with gear because I have a very specific thing I need, or that I think we need for this gear.
Okay, so all right, you go on your private super secret VPN. You go to your private Discord server.
Yes, the one in my head.
Yeah, and you just start doing this. By the way, let's. Where are you guys doing your legwork? Are you guys just going to hang out in the pachinko parlor all day, or is this maybe going to be like a?
I'm going back home. I'm going back home.
All right. He's going back home. He'll call you when he's got the stuff for the job.
Listen, Claymore saw a limited edition idol merch in that, so he's playing a bit because he wants it.
All right. If anything, I have a comms relay that's encrypted, so maybe I give you like an encrypted number to like tell you when we're starting up.
Alright, yeah.
I'm gonna go out because I'm probably gonna need Decibel for like giving me a quiet ride to a location because I need to look at some things.
Alright.
Squirrel's have to do that.
Squirrel, you okay to drive the eye guy by the job site?
I'm fine with that as long as he actually catches up with Squirrel. Squirrel is saying now.
Well, he probably would because he wanted to ask you. Okay, so that's everybody's out there. We got that. We will cut to then team's eye on the prize first. All right, so you call your contact at RGC and you're like, "Hey, I need to know some things about the layout of your industrial yard."
Brother, I need some information.
Yes, of course, Father Samuel. I got it for you. I don't know why they all talk like this.
It's not a cult, I promise.
So, basically, he beams you the public blueprints for the place.
Okay.
The RGC industrial yard is in the south side, so it's on the south end of the bay. It is next to one of the major maglev networks, owned by CrossNexus, of course, but is not actually attached to it. They have a like a tributary line. It kind of comes out so they can hook their own cars up to it and go onto the main line. So the yard is huge. It's sprawling. We're talking, multiple hectares of space here. It is a large area, and it makes heavy use of automation and RFID chips to keep track of various vehicles and storage. So basically, the yard's on the south end. It's a mixture of open-air storage and warehouses. So you've got enclosed buildings, and you've got just stacks of shipping containers or outside racks. And they store all kinds of RGC products, from tubs of raw ore and salt to fully built cars, auto trucks, heavy load lifter robots. So they've got a big inventory there. They got a big layout. And looking at the layout, you can see, though, you don't have any details of how the inner details of the security system works, but you notice at the perimeter they have a double layer of privacy fence with razor wire on top, and a wide variety of foot and street entrances, both road gates and pedestrian gates, so that technicians and vehicles can come and go. And that's what you get from your basic layout stuff. So, you also wanted to hit up another contact about something?
Well, no, I wanted to get the equipment from that one.
All right, fair enough.
I got the roll.
All right, let's move to Team Eyes.
I've got another thing I want to do later, but...
Okay. All right, so y'all roll up to the site. It is as described to Metatron. He may even have beamed you some of this information already. It's huge, it's relatively wide open and flat. It's got some decently flat surrounding ground around it. You're in an industrial neighborhood, so everything here is warehouses, storage shops, a couple of corporate office or research parks, very little public infrastructure stuff, but it is next to one of the major port areas of the Bay Megacity, so there's a lot of automated semi-trucks, tractor trailers rolling by, various other things. So, you're not obvious if you stop and park it, and you've got, like I said, there's the double privacy fence, maybe between 2 and 3 meters tall, and topped with razor wire. So, you guys are here. What are you doing?
I have a mechanical question. So, for how assess works, would these +1s you get when using the information work in the other phase?
If you are actually using the information, yes.
Okay. I want to do assess because I'm trying to figure out all the...
Well, nope. Not how that works. Fiction first.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay. Put my mind together.
So you're on site.
I
You
assume
can see the
I
inside.
assume that we had for Odin had Scroll get him in the location so we can just park in this, look around the basically drive around the edge of the premises to get looks at
Oh yeah, no. In your
other
intel
different-
package, you've got the street address. So
Okay. So we're probably just taking a look around the premises for entry points, exit points.
Right.
Any looks of any of the rotations of the security as it goes, how trucks get in, how they get out. trying to
Squirrel,
think of,
do you want to do anything particularly fancy as you circle the block a couple times, or are you okay just driving the guy?
I didn't check. I'm just double checking what I have here.
Well, you got a couple drones. One of them is small and probably in your trunk.
Okay, I'll probably see about using right. What was my first one?
Did you mean mosquito?
Well, the second one is the mosquito one. Okay, so I'll be releasing the insect one into the air and allow it to maybe get a closer look at a few things from using that.
You have, as one of your neural interface tags, you have multitasking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's no problem for you to drive the car with your brain and also pilot your drone.
Yeah.
What abilities does your tiny drone have?
Tiny drone has, let's see here.
Besides being plus stealthy, obviously, for being small.
Okay, so it's plus fragile, plus stealthy, plus small, which is all of the tags that Tiny gets automatically.
Yep.
It has the sensor magnification.
Alright, so it's got a deep zoom lens.
And it's a rotor sort of thing, so it flies.
Yeah. Alright. I think the best way to say this is, are you guys cooperating on gathering intel, or are you both doing your own thing?
Or what do you think? Because
I guess cooperating, since we're looking, I guess more or less for just about the same things.
Alright, so, Squirrel, why don't you go ahead and roll... Oh, that was weird. Hold on, did my Discord restart? Wait one. Oh no, the recording is fine. I'm recording that in a separate app. I just had to pause it for a second. We're back now. Okay. Discord didn't effect reset. Okay.
So
Yeah, just my Discord goofed. What I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by myself, was in that case, Scroll, go ahead and roll help. So roll plus links with Odin.
Okay.
And if you have any special drone driver goo when you do that.
Let's see. I'm going to pull that up. If you help okay, so second skin when jacked in through your neural interface, settling vehicle. As thing for if you help or interfere with someone, roll links plus your car's power.
Alright, well, you are in fact in your car right now, and they're assisting him by driving him around, so yes, add your power.
What is my car's
power? +2.
Okay, that's +1.
Yeah.
And
I
have a link with you, so it's +2 total.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that first.
Okay, so that's going to be 13.
Damn.
Did quite well. Alright. So on a hit, they take +1 forward in this case, because you're helping, you're not interfering, and you don't have to worry about any things at all. Your help is smooth, perfectly smooth.
Yeah, +1.
Alright, so now that you have described what you're doing, go ahead and roll me assess edge with a +1 forward,
Alright,
Mr. Odin. Squirrel's probably got like a display screen he can show you what his drone sees as you guys circle the block.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an 8, then plus the 3, that's 11.
Okay, so you gain 3 hold.
3.
And I'm heavily doing this for a tactical situation, so my computer gives me an extra hold.
Yep, that's true. Alright, so you've got 4 hold. So, whenever you feel like asking these questions as you meander around the place, you can go ahead and throw them in there.
I have at least one question.
Alright, go ahead.
What is my best way in and out?
Okay, so you're doing the perimeter search, obviously. You know, the usual stuff. You're looking around. You notice there are 2 types of major entrances, which obviously, as I mentioned earlier, to Metatron is how it goes. So, there are big gatehouses, you know, entrance and exit gates, right? For vehicles. They're on the street. Obviously, you probably want to take one of those if you want to get Squirrel inside, but that's probably not your best way in. Your best way in is probably through one of the pedestrian gates. These are all automated. They use keypads or RFID chips, and some of them have CCTV cameras monitoring them. But, you know, this place is huge. You think the network coverage probably isn't perfect. If you wanted to get in, your best bet would be to break one of the gates, or it's just a privacy fence, you know, get a plasma cutter. You know, get a welding torch. You can cut through 2 layers lightning fast, be in and out.
Scroll, this is a question for you. How easy would it be to make your car look like a normal pedestrian transport?
His car already looks like that. It's a courier car.
Gotcha.
Yes, frame car courier. It's nondescript and slate. You can't get any more freaking pedestrian.
Yeah, his car honestly probably looks like a corporate taxi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, hey, it's just a corporate thing. It's like, don't need to pay too much attention to it.
So,
you do have the cramped negative, right?
Yeah, cramped negative.
Yeah, so the back seat's not super roomy, I'm going to say, because you've got your drone racks back there.
Yeah.
But
And then also probably have a thing for carrying courier stuff in, too.
you've got some extra cargo space, so the passenger space isn't as comfy, but yeah. His car already looks perfectly like any old thing.
Perfect, then. In my mind, I have an idea. One idea I had was that we hide one of the car in the back of a truck, get it through, take it out. Claymore gets in, grabs the thing, goes, drives out. But in this case, maybe we just drive in, use a fake ID of sorts to make it so that nothing's none the wiser. We drive in, figure out where the thing is before we get on site, grab it, and fucking run.
I mean, you have a hecking miniature drone. Why don't you just fly it inside?
I mean,
He's circling it now.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to point out, these are blueprints, correct?
2 targets. The prototype. The prototype is physical.
Okay.
Second,
Well,
the
they're
blueprints.
blueprints.
If you recover the blueprints, they'd be in photonic crystal data storage format.
Yeah,
Holograms.
that's what I was gonna say. That's what we.
yeah.
Oh, they're in. Okay.
They are digital. If you were to extract them, you'd put them in a storage format.
Okay.
So it's important to remember you have 2 targets. There's no guarantee the 2 targets are in the same place. You haven't actually figured out where they are yet.
Okay.
Then I will probably save 2 of this hold.
Well,
What
once we leave the scene, once you're outside of the place or situation, you will lose your hold.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
so
I have a few more than I can ask.
So, what do you have another hold to spend, or do you have any other stuff you want?
I think I have a few more actually. So what do I notice beside an effort to conceal it?
All right, you're rolling around. You're looking. You and Squirrel both have the piped image from his mosquito drone because it's got that magnification. So it's got, like I said, deep zoom. You can get right up in there and count how many mustache hairs the guard in that guardhouse has. Shit like that. You can read his text if you want. So you're looking around pretty intensely, and a thing you notice, despite the fact that RGC wouldn't you do, is you're zooming around, you're deeping around. You notice in the way back, in their little railhouse yard, right? Because they've got that sub-network that connects to the major cross-nexus rail.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a couple of guys lurking around, getting some coffee, hanging out in the yard, out of the public eye. But you notice these gentlemen are wearing Texas Rangers uniforms.
Huh.
The Texas Rangers, of course, are the premier Spec Ops group for the Republic of Texas. Some of you may have firsthand experience with them. But they're kind of a big deal. Also, they really shouldn't be in Pacifica.
Yeah. Hey, Squirrel, take some pictures.
I don't
Does the
believe
drone-
that's a separate sensor package, so I'm okay
fair
saying
enough.
he can do that.
Usually they have plus recording on things. I don't know if the drones need that or not, though.
Drones don't have that as an option, so I'm going to say that he can just... I mean, he's piping it to his neural interface and outputting it. He can just screen cap it somewhere.
yeah, it's just screen cap.
Screen cap.
Not the best, but it's there.
Take a few.
As long as you see their giant hats and their giant belt buckles.
And all of their very, very...
They wear long brown coats over tack armor.
Yeah, like they're kind of hard to miss. If you notice their look.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now, they're like I said, they're buried deep somewhere in a site in the far back of the yard, so the public wouldn't see them normally, but because you guys are flying a, like I said, long zoom lens drone, you're able to get some up close and personal pictures and be like, wait a fucking second, that's a Texas Rangers insignia.
Okay.
Do you
I
wanna-
still have two more holds.
Yeah.
So one is
by the way, you guys have phones, obviously, and one of you has cybercoms. Do you want to percolate any of this information while you're still out here?
probably.
All right. What do you tell the other two while they're minding their own business?
Probably
you
in
can
some
just
like
text
private
us pictures.
messages boards.
Yeah, you got.
Looks like RGC might have a little more complicated security than we got expecting.
I assume you shoot him a text with the pictures.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if you just give me that fucking
No,
pitch, I'm just be all like,
No, the image would be attached. It's just
okay, the image me attached.
I think Squirrel sent additional comments like, guess these were the freelancers.
Metatron have a field day.
Claymore sends a emoticon of an angry anime girl, followed by another angry anime girl cracking her knuckles.
Oh, yeah, no, Claymore, you know these motherfuckers.
So, one question is, how is the internal security vulnerable to me?
Okay, internal security. To you? Okay. All right. Yeah, this is the thing. I got to flavor the question for him. He's asking.
Yep.
So, what kind of gear you got on you, Odin? Like, what are you packing personally?
Got a rifle with flashbangs.
Okay. What
Wait,
kind of rifle?
or-
Just assault rifle?
Oh, it's the assault rifle, yeah. So it's still free harm. And
Okay, so you've got some pretty serious. You're carrying some pretty serious iron. You've got some stun grenades. You're not really a combat guy, but you're about the tactical planning. So I would say that the internal security is vulnerable to you because everything is remote access. There's a central data center where there's God knows how many mobs of computer jocks, right?
Yeah.
You know, there is an on-site response team, and you've discovered that there are apparently some on-site Texas Rangers.
Not the greatest.
It's entirely possible that, you know, if you want to jump to conclusions, maybe Texas is buying the prototype and they're going to smuggle it out to them, because obviously governments and corpos are very tight, but that does mean that occasionally, if your corpo does deals with another government, that causes problems back home with your constituency. So, you know, maybe there's a backdoor deal going on here. That's something else you could use to investigate. And I don't want to say that you can't use your social moves in the legwork scene. Like, if anybody wants to play hardball or fast talk, like, you can grab dudes to interrogate.
So that's actually something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah. But to finish answering your question real quick before we move on, the way that they're vulnerable to you is you guys are a small, highly responsive infiltration force. If you use the info you got on your easiest way in to just cut the fences, blitz in, if you guys know exactly where you're going before you get in here and get out, and you can, you know, blind cameras, blind drones they put on you, you guys can probably turn and burn out of here before they have a chance to adapt their automated security to find you. That's how it's vulnerable to you specifically.
Gotcha. Which means when to find specific locations on targets. I think that's probably that's what I can find. And the last thing is this is the hold from the tactical computer. So, what potential complication do I need to be wary of?
All right. Tactical computer crunches it. Let's see. You already know about the Texas Rangers. So, it's good. Okay. Your tactical computer, with its onboard, you know, smart assistant feature, actually points out to you. Its little crow avatar, you know, appears on your screen and points you out to some certain things. It zooms in on some images, does some highlighting, you know, all in your AR feed, and brings up. There's a couple of large boxes you see stretched out for the place. With the image magnification from the drone, it actually zooms in and points this out. You notice that these are marked with RGC logos, and they are marked with a product name Ladon, which your tactical computer lovingly cross-references with your onboard tactical database, and matches it to an RGC product number for a large Riot control drone. This was built in the post-Singularity War hullabaloo, designed to break up riots and protests. It is a 4-meter-tall quadrupedal drone, which is armed with some twin-burst SMGs on the front and a turreted water cannon, and has powerful pneumatic limbs with gripping and cutting equipment designed to push aside cars and tear down barricades. And, they've probably got a dozen of these things sleeping in crates scattered around the yard.
Alright, so it means if things get too heavy, we need to actually book it.
Yeah, if you guys get a little too loud, they're gonna, like, fire up the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Alright, so you've asked all your hold. You can think about your next move there. I do believe that...
Alright.
Hold on, I'm going to rearrange my things here.
I'm going to try to mark down what I remember from what we talked about.
Yeah.
And then everyone have to do this.
So, because I saw here, Martha's talking about me doing some research, so you want to go back to your car?
Yeah.
Or just be in your car, getting your car internet?
Car internet, and I think just, let's see here. Right, need to ask a question. Right, when you investigate a person, place, object, or service using library dossier or database combination, ask a question for a list below and roll roll 9.
So
So
you're...
Okay, I guess my question would be, where would I find the blueprints?
All right, roll mind. Do you get second skin on research as well?
I don't think so. I think...
No,
it's-
okay. Act under pressure, mix it up, hardball, help or interfere.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
time to roll that.
We can say that you're working from a combination of the dossier you guys received as your initial intel document and whatever libraries and databases you have access to as a courier.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
We will probably
That's
cut back
fair.
to Claymore and then back to Metatron after this.
Just double checking what my mind score is. That's a 0, and I rolled a 10.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, I answer the question, and you get to ask a follow-up question. So, and take an intel.
Okay.
Okay, so where would I find the blueprint? All right, well, you know from probably your idle conversation and just snooping with your drone and with Odin there that there's that main data center, right? So, the target you're looking for with the blueprints is they're going to be stored in data crystals that are going to be inside a... Dallas, you can just type that publicly. You don't have to keep PMing me.
Oh, shit, I am still on the... I didn't actually mean to PM you.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's why I'm like, all right, Dallas, you can go back to public. Because you're talking about, I've already said that they should have the blueprint stuff you've got.
Well, no, because specifically the intel I wanted from the bonus roll I got was a employee list of the hackers they have under their employ.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't use your intel and your gear until you're in the action phase, right? You don't need to declare it until you're ready to go. How did I know this? Right? You can just research the stuff and work from there, kind of backfill.
Well, no, because... Okay,
I'll
get to it.
Yeah.
Just finish up.
You guys actually, you're still doing your legwork, but you also will want to plan the job. So, and at some point, it would be probably great if you guys got back together to plan the job, just so I don't have to keep asking you what you're doing with your free time.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, where was I? Right, where the thing is. So, there is a secure holding area with some alternate access routes in the sub-basement of the central control building. That's where the data storage is.
Okay. That's for the...
And now you get a follow-up out of that list as well.
Right. I'm just trying to think about what else I could ask, because we know that...
So the questions are, for the audience at home and our other players, if they want to weigh in, is where would I find blank, how secure is blank, who or what is related to blank, who owned or employed blank, who or what is blank most valuable to, what's the relationship between blank and blank. For instance, hypothetically, not that I'm saying you should pick this, but as an example, if you wanted to know exactly what the relationship between the Republic of Texas and RGC is, you could ask that question.
Right. Oh, Right. Let's see here. I already know, well, at least on person and drone security, but so let's see here. I know the location of the blueprints. I don't know the location of the prototype. I'm just thinking or what I should before the follow-up since.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just guess that's the group here for one of the other questions here for follow-up. Should I ask about where the other one is, or should I ask about more about security, if there's additional specific security for one of them? Or should I ask... Because no one has anything, so I'll just ask about where the other one is.
All right. You're doing your research. You're trying to figure out where stuff is. Where would they hold a physical prototype? So you determine, based on your research capabilities, that the target object is located in their maglev railhouse, where you spotted those Texas Rangers earlier, and it will be held in a high-security armored train car. So you have to physically access this car, whatever that is, and get the prototypes. I also do want to point out, while Lucky said, haha, no, we don't have to do... Technically, the mission experience rewards destruction of both. If you don't want some narrative complications about actually getting paid that large amount you want to get paid, you should probably physically recover one of the items. It's not required, but you are in the job now.
Yeah. Yeah, at least grab one of the two. Probably the blueprints.
But okay,
So the
I'm
pencil
gonna
one
say, because
is
you
I
guys
don't-
have been, I'm gonna, just for the sake of narrative appropriateness, because you guys have been circling the block a lot,
probably
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
start
I'm
reading.
advancing the legwork clock one.
Okay,
Not fair.
that's very fair.
They notice
because-
eventually.
Plus, you guys have been rolling pretty well, so I think it's time to just, keep the pressure on. Don't want you to feel like you can get too relaxed here.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going up anyways. Like, okay, I guess now that... Okay, anything else we want to check out? What's that? Odin?
Besides finding, I guess, finding some data keys for security, that's not really much to find.
Okay.
It's safe to say you could blow, I guess technically gear or intel on like fake IDs,
Okay. Alright,
something
now
similar if
that-
you wanted to during the job. However you feel you want to on your entry tech.
We might just need one just to open the gate and get in.
Why?
Huh?
No, you do it. It's your plan.
Okay.
If you want to make it needlessly complicated, go for it.
Alright.
Okay, so... Let's mark now.
So,
Alright,
Claymore,
now
you said
that's
you wanted to make a call or two.
Yeah.
All right.
I will
So-
declare contact.
All right. Who's your contact?
Her name is Hoshiguma. She is Gray Market's weapon vendor. But I'm gonna call her up and see if she can send me out maybe some post quick, some spray can explosives, some blast foam.
All right. So, you're declaring a contact. You should say why the contact owes you a favor, or you owe them a favor.
Oh, I owe them a favor. I constantly call Hoshiguma over little things of destruction, and I usually am pretty good about paying her back. I may have not just got necessarily caught up on the tab so far.
All right. So, you say gray market weapons dealer. So, does she have like a legit business as well as also sells you some unrestricted stuff on the side?
Yes.
Okay.
She's
So-
a legitimate businesswoman, but she is amenable to, maybe something falling off the truck. She might have some contacts into corporates and able to get some nice tech here and there. She then sells it at extremely exorbitant prices, but, it's the good stuff.
All right. So, it sounds like you're going to a contact for help, so roll style.
I will roll me some style. Where? Oh, here they are.
You should also
dice,
write
go!
down somewhere on your sheet about that Hoshiguma is your contact.
Yep.
I assume this
Go,
is...
dice, go!
You said you were going to call it... You're doing a literal phone call?
Yeah. Okay, so I rolled an 8.
Okay, so on a 7+, you get what you want. But now, on
Yay.
a 7 through 9, you must choose 2 from the list below. Your
Okay.
request is going to cost you extra. Your request is going to take some time. Your request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences. Your contact needs you to help them out with something. If you turn them down, take -1 ongoing to this move until you make it right. So pick 2
No,
of
so
those.
I'll pick, they request something of me. And let's go with unintended consequences.
Okay, all right. So you get what you want.
I thought as much.
I mean, to be fair, out of those, I think that was one of the better options because we can't have it take time.
Fair enough. We can't. We need to do this like quick.
I mean, you don't. You got a little bit of time. Okay, so all right. Give me a tick.
By the way, her real name is not Hoshiguma, but that's what
Obviously,
I have
yeah,
to call
but,
her
yeah,
on.
of course, yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, everyone has code names.
Yes.
I have like 3 technically.
All right. So, you acquire a. You dial her up, and she's like, "Claymore, buddy, how you doing? You need something?"
And it's like, and Clayman's just like, yes, Hoshiguma-sama. It's like, I have come into an opportunity with, a big payout. Might be able to make good on what's owed, but just might need a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Might need a bit of boom.
Ah, well, let's see. You still owe me for the last time I helped you out. Oh, but you've got such great face today, Claymore. All right, what are you looking for? What's the market?
I was like, I'll just need some good industrial grade blast foam. Nice portable spray containers. Good enough to, blow off a good door, maybe cripple some infrastructure. The nice good wait, what's the word I was thinking of?
Problem solver.
No, the nice professional stuff.
Ah, all right. That can be arranged. I can acquire you a small container of some, some standard issue. It's a little old. It's the old. Oh well, you're an old hat at this. You know the brand. It's the old U.S. Army model, Compound 8. The good stuff though. I don't think it expires. But I've got just a little thing for you. That's perfectly fine. I'll expedite it, deliver it to a drop site near you. But by the way, there are your stats on your explosive.
Yeah, they are.
4 harm, near area breach, messy, dangerous, discreet. So before you set it off, it's very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Once you set it off, oh bye. Oh boy.
That's all we need, really.
She says, but I got a little something, and I need you to help me out with. Let's see. Do you at any point mention what you need the goods for?
I have a pretty amicable relationship with Hoshiguma, and she's not. I would say she doesn't deal in information. So yeah. I'll mention it's like I'll mention that we're about to get I'm like maybe getting a tussle with the Combine.
Oh, perfect. Well then, I've got a little way you can make up this purchase to me. And the last one, and the one before that. You see, RGC, they're real primo, Heavy industry, heavy shipping, got all the good stuff, sucking the oil and the uranium right out of Utah. They do some great work. Unfortunate problem, their truck systems are pretty smart. It's hard to make shit fall off them. So, if you're gonna do a little job, I'm gonna need you to, find and pick me up some of their particular brand of, blank RFID tags that I can tag into shipping containers. Make companies like Crossnescus think I'm just rolling packages of, sand and silica, but, they've actually got fun toys in them.
I do enjoy fun toys as much as the next person.
Yeah, so basically she's adding an additional mission objective for which you don't get paid and don't get EXP.
But if you don't do it, you get -1 on everything.
Well, -1
for
ongoing
this
on this
roll.
move, so people will know you're bad for your deal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you going to agree to do it?
I'll agree to do it, and I'll thank her for the opportunity.
All right. Drop locations uploaded to your HUD. Have fun, Claymore. I don't need to tell you which end to point it. Click.
Click.
All right. You've acquired, like I said, a decent number of those explosives outlined there.
Cool. All right. And okay, so I feel like this might be more cosmetic based, but I do want to ask. I don't want to be like as high profile as I am. I don't want to say that I just stroll through jobs with my face all exposed. So having a face concealing helmet like something I actually have to buy, or is that just something I can assume?
No, you got it. You got armor,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can have a helmet with a faceplate. That's cosmetic. The game talks about incidental gear. That's easy. Like I said, I'll assume you guys have phones.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably have access to other small common devices. You already have a set of armor. You can get a face shield for your helmet as well.
Okay.
I was imaging, it's like, the game Ruiner?
No.
I was imaging that kind of mask, but fair enough.
I just assume he has Cabal's mask. That's what I assume.
Cabal?
Because Mortal Kombat, the
I
gas
don't-
mask dude.
Oh no, actually, I'm thinking something more. It's more sleek.
Okay.
It's shoot. I have an image for it, but it's
Sorry,
basically
when I thought your character, I didn't think subtle. So
no.
I mean, personally, in my mind, I'm thinking of NCR Ranger helmets or the SWAT guys from Ghost in the Shell, like the militarized helmet with the built-in rebreather plate covering the mask and the ice.
Well, actually, no. Axe actually has my idea pretty much, except it doesn't have fucking scrolling text on it. It's just kind of that blank. Just that blank.
Okay, blank ballistic mask type shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, okay. So I got the explosives I've wanted. Do I want to go under the knife? I do like cyberware. It's cool.
I mean, if you got the cred, that is, by the way, that's a move. You can go under the knife. You can spend cred to.
Yeah, you can spend up to 2 cred and roll.
If you guys,
and
want
I am about to go
Chrome.
I do like Chrome.
We want to
And keep in mind, if this job goes well, you're supposed to get paid pretty good.
Yeah, no, and if I do good, Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna go under the knife. I'm gonna go get... Wait, actually.
All right, I got a very, very important cyberpunk question. What do we call cyberdocs?
Ooh.
I don't.
I wanted to call them. I wanted to call them like chromancers or something. But I'm like, wait, no, that's a little too far.
We could call them just chrome doc.
Nanosurgeons?
Tech priests. No.
No.
I don't think nanosurgeons or something like that.
No, not chrome docs. Yeah, chrome docs.
Right,
I feel like they have like official names and then whatever one calls them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's like some linguistic drift between everything, but so I was looking at the rule. You can spend up to 2 cred and roll. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have 1 cred left. I'm kind of broke.
All right.
What cyber do you want to get?
Yeah, when you have a new piece of cyberware installed,
it's gonna be a neural interface. I'm getting the targeting suite.
All right.
So I did have a question on that.
Yeah.
When you get a new piece of cyberware, does it have to be from your playbook or can it be from others?
No, you can get any piece of cyberware in the game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey,
if you pick Chrome though, or whatever your relevant fucking thing is, you have to. I think you have to pick from that list though. Yeah. All right.
What's your synth?
My what?
What's your synth?
1.
Okay. Still not fucking harm, damn.
Yeah, no, like if. Let's see here.
Well, and also Lucky gets to pick which one of his guns are plus linked.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So I rolled an 8 plus 2. That's a 10.
Nice.
10 is. I think everything is fine, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now everything is well. So yes, I will target link with the carnage.
All right.
You're literally
So
going to
you
delete
get-
people with that.
Neural interface with targeting suite.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, here's a really interesting thing.
What?
So I believe the way this works is, when you straight up get neural interface, you can take the driver move second skin or the hacker move jack in as an advance.
Oh. Okay.
Like straight up right now, I believe it's time there. So you can gain the ability to access matrix moves or second skin effects. Keeping in mind, you don't have a car until you like take the car move from a driver with another playbook, but you could get a driving unit. The important thing is that you're taking the targeting suite, which, as we said, gives you basically a direct neural link between a handheld gun and your targeting information and your vision.
Mm-hmm.
When you fire a weapon you are plus linked to, you add additional harm equal to your synth, and you may roll, by the way, this is a may, synth instead of meat to mix it up with that gun. You may also precisely define the area of effect for weapons with auto-fire to include or exclude potential targets.
Smart pistol it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the default for neural interfaces, you get to jack in or second skin. I assume you want to go for second skin?
Yeah.
All right. Keep in mind, you didn't yet pick up remote control, so you can't remote drive cars. But hypothetically, if like Squirrel takes a bullet, you could plug into his car and drive it in person.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you can kind of get some like fucking kill drones or camera drones for you.
Things the neural interfaces just allows you to be able to take as an advance. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So you may take either.
You may take either.
All right. So yeah, you don't get that right now, but then you can. Okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
The phrasing's a little weird on some of this. I didn't realize you had to take these for those. But okay. So now in the future, you are open up to hacking your second skin if you want to, but you do get your targeting suite benefit right now.
Yes.
All right. So basically, we're in nebulous legwork time. Claymore buys some bombs and gets plugged in with a new neural interface. You get a data jack in your neck.
I still have legwork to do.
Yeah, no. So he's out for a while. Before you guys keep rolling on your legwork, is there any conferencing you want to do? Any comparing of notes?
I mean, I will probably have been working on, and am still working on what I'm about to do this entire time.
Fair enough.
Because it takes a little bit.
No, that's
okay.
okay.
I'm using one of my moves.
I think the only thing really bring was more of like, if we take in what Claymore wants to do, we probably need to like figure out where those are too, so we grab them on the way.
I was gonna, talk to people and roleplay about that, Axe.
Well, he's just thinking about it. Yeah, I don't think he's brought it up yet.
Yes.
Though you do get to do that before you go down for your surgery. We'll cycle back to that. But would you mention that kind of thing like now over the wire, or is that a later thing where Claymore's like, "Oh, BT Dubs, hey, I got some bombs. By the way."
Yeah, I'll do it later.
Okay. All right. We'll put a pause on it. All right. So, and remember, fiction first. What are you actually getting out there to do?
Oh,
Metron.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, from the conversation with my contact, I will have gotten as my little bonus thing for being so damn good at my job. I would have gotten a list of the hackers that are under our Rio Grande Combine. I would have gotten the list of people that will most likely be part of their security team.
All right.
Cross-referencing that, I will basically be looking for people that are vulnerable to my messaging. People that, looking at their social media histories, general history, look at people who might take kindly to the messages and the beliefs that I have. People that might disagree with this micro country system we have, want more unity. I probably should post my vision thing to the chat, and I'll do that right.
Yeah, that would have hypothetically been public knowledge during session 0. You just had to work on your soundbite.
I had to write it to make it sound cyberpunk.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm just going to look at targets that would be vulnerable to this message.
All right. I think the best way to do that would be to basically you cross-reference that information, you look at that person, it then would be to roll edge to assess that person.
Okay.
To basically assess the list, figure out what you want, and then you can hopefully use your hold ideally to find somebody you can work with.
Yeah, and then I will be using vision thing.
Yeah,
so
but we can actually arrange about how you find them.
Okay, so on edge, what do I have plus to edge? Okay, good. Oh, that's good. I have a 10 even then.
All right, so you gain 3 hold from the list, and you take +1 forward when acting on these answers. So let's see. Okay. Probably the most relevant question to ask them would be, where can I gain the most advantage, or what is my best way in? But you could also fluff some other questions. What you got?
I was going to do, what is my best way in?
All right, so your best way in...
Yeah,
got it.
Go to that first.
So the best way in is you're looking through the list, you figure out some stuff, you're cross-referencing with your gang membership, and you find that there is a mid-level data center guy, a net guy, a hacker, named Gaius Lupo, because I stole that right off the hacker name list. He is an RGC hacker who's pretty mid-level, but using your corporate contacts, you already have a guy inside, you're able to filter through. And in fact, one of your gang gigs is infiltration. So you've got inside guys. So you're able to scum up some of his performance reviews and actually find out that he's got a couple of minor corporate reprimands about some of his public social media posts and some of his internal activities, which you also cross-reference and find that he appears to be somewhat sympathetic to your collectivism, transhumanist cause.
Nice. Excellent.
You've got 2 more hold if you want to use them in any way.
Could I put them forward to my roll on you getting him, or would that not work?
You would want to go ahead and ask questions that you think would be relevant to acting on the answers of, because that's how you get the +1 forward.
You still at least get a +1 forward too.
So this is on the +1 and the assess, right?
No,
this is just on the assess.
Well, yeah. When you assess, you get to ask these questions, and then whenever you act on the answers to the assess, you get +1 forward.
Okay. Does he know? Is he involved in security detailing at all?
If he is a hacker, he is in some way. So,
okay.
As a hypothetical, you might ask. One, you could obviously ask about your biggest threats or your potential complications, but a relevant question would be something like, "How is Gaius Lupo vulnerable to me?" or "Where can I gain the most advantage?"
Yeah, and then I was going to try and get out of this is, what is their relationship currently with the Texas Rangers, and would he have any idea of that?
Okay.
Because I'm interested in that person.
So, let's see. So, I think the best way to get that answer for that second question is to ask maybe... well, I suppose I would phrase it. You can get an answer to that question based on either where can I gain the most advantage or who or what is in control here. It would depend on which one you ask would give you different info on the Texas Rangers question. Which one are you more interested in from, how you're looking at this guy's profile psyche?
I'm looking to see if he would, have a kind of a problem with them double dealing on, is he a patriot, basically?
Okay, so
Does he
you're
care
thinking
about
maybe
this
something
different
more
guy?
like, where can I gain the most advantage then?
Yeah, basically.
All right, so as we've discussed, Gaius Lupo, he's got some stuff. You're able to get in there, your research, get some internal stuff on him. You've already figured out that, like, he's your way in. How you would gain the most advantage would, in fact, be to, off hours, wait for him to clock out at whatever ungodly time that is, because he is a hacker. He probably gets off at, like, 3:30 in the morning or something.
It's okay. I don't sleep either.
And actually, like, talk to him and not outright try to flip him, but just get somebody to be a sympathetic ear, get him talking.
No.
He might let some stuff slip. You could probably, you being you could probably leverage some of your you-ness against him to get him to let some things go.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use Vision Thing on him when I get the chance.
All right. You still have one more hold. Are there any other further assess questions you want to ask?
Group, do you think I need any further questions?
Let's see. Do you think you could use any of your hold to maybe locate the specific location of the objects?
Yeah, I'll get them.
I mean, you could ask. Well, you're assessing a person, so it would probably be mostly about him and the hackers.
Yeah.
Probably ask about complications, so like what not to say.
I'll probably ask. I'll probably refrain from asking him anything that is severely incriminating.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But do you want to ask
I'm...
the what potential complications question?
Yeah, what potential complications?
All right, so I think the thing you need to be wary as a potential complication is, these guys are obviously the first response to any problems on site. They handle drone security and they watch the cameras and stuff, right? They would direct uniformed security guards, etc. The thing you need to be aware of as a potential complication is you want to be careful about basically, how would I phrase this? You want to be careful about radicalizing this guy too much. Like, if you get him to drink your Kool-Aid too much on the first meeting, he's already got a couple of corpo reprimands.
Don't want to Jim Jones him.
Yeah, you could easily accidentally get him to, like, fire off, cut ties, plant a worm virus that melts down their data center right now. Like, you're the pusher. You're good at your job.
Oh, no.
If you get this guy too much energy, you'll get him to crack and, like, he'll be fired or do something dumb before you're ready to do the job.
All you wanted to do is to put a blind eye on the camera.
You want to get some info. You want to rein him in. You don't want to lean on him too hard. Otherwise, he could get spicy.
Yeah, I don't want to come at this at the angle of like I'm against his corpo,
right?
Because the message that I portray outwardly and the message that I believe in is that the corpos should all work together for common good. It's all about unity. This petty infighting is pointless. I say as I do a bunch of corporate blackmail and espionage.
That's humans being humans.
God, I'm such a bastard.
Welcome to the Sprawl, baby.
Everyone are bastards in Sprawl.
True. It is cyberpunk. I think one of those rules is even the good guys are dicks.
Yeah. And I mean, like we said, one of my principles is make everything chrome, then make it dirty. Work on everything.
But yeah, no, I definitely want to use the ability to vision for him.
Yeah, I know.
That's
So
basically my shtick.
You're gonna go talk to him in the middle of the night when he goes off shift.
Yeah.
Claymore's
I will
getting
probably
chromed.
not go under my actual entities.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go in. I probably have a couple of pseudonyms.
Yeah.
I'll approach him as a member of my church, but not as like the head of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just seems weird.
No,
hey,
that's
this organization.
That's the kind of thing that there's definitely a corp training 101 for that, right? Like, if you're approached in a bar by a mysterious leader of an external organization, what should you do? A, accept his drink. B, shoot him immediately. C, call your supervisor.
It's always call your supervisor.
D,
Everything.
all three in that order.
Even when it's fucking, even when the building's on fire, the correct answer is call your supervisor.
Welcome to the corporate hellhole.
And maybe shoot a person in the kneecap.
So I think the only thing before we shift time a little to, like I said, that night, and we let Metatron get to his business, is Squirrel and Odin, you guys have done a lot of legwork yourselves. You've done your research, you've done your eyeballing. You guys have How much? Actually, what's a good question? Let's do a check. How much gear and intel do you guys have?
I have 1 intel.
I got 1 intel.
All right.
I have 1 gear.
Because I still have, but I also have at least have like a small lock at just +1 information.
Yeah, you got a lot of. You guys in general have a lot of info acting forward on. Remember, forward is the first time it comes up. By the way, though.
Yeah, which means for Betatron, when you do your roll, you get a +1.
Yes, you will get a +1 forward to presumably.
Vision thing.
Yeah, because you've looked into this guy and found he's.
This ability is terrifying because I can use it on PCs.
Yeah, the social stuff is pretty funny. I mean, you can use the normal like fast talk on a PC as well, but then that basically is like, all right, if you do good, then they have to do a move to go against you. They don't mind.
Oh no, yeah.
But
It's just
all
my
right, so
thing here.
Squirrel, Odin, you guys return from your job. Is there anything you want to do either together or separately before tonight? Is there any further coordination you want to do? Any of your own contacts you want to hit up for stuff? And I need to step away for a second, so I'm okay pausing the recording to go out and let you guys think about that for a little bit, talk amongst yourselves. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
For the sake of the job, I might have to leave one of you guys behind.
Yeah, exactly. So just in case, redundancy will be.
Yeah,
I think
by the way,
redundancy.
fired up the recording again, so we're talking about stuff. I wanted to say it is important to note that since the blueprints are data, this is the cyberpunk future. It's if you can get access to that system and copy the data, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any Matrix guys to like hack it yourself, you will probably need some kind of trick or tech. You could solve that with tech or intel, gear or intel, to like actually get the computer to give you the stuff. But it's fine. Have you guys discussed all your? Well, actually, I don't even know if you brought that
The
up.
goal was to be kind of
secondary
indiscreet.
objective.
Get the
They
thing
were
and then go
going
grab the thing.
Well, like I said, like again, once we
were going to come back to meet together.
yeah, but like I said, but those are my. Well, I can talk more about it as Claymore.
Actually, yeah,
All right, so everybody,
I think we should
where would you meet?
Betatron
Just describe anywhere in the cyberpunk future.
Honestly,
We're going to a ramen bar.
Okay. I thought
No,
Betatron like a
Robin.
private lobby or something that's like soundproof.
I have a house, but we can. Yeah, let's go to
No.
a ramen bar.
Let's go to a ramen. Let's go to a.
Let's go to an
Special.
upscale ramen bar,
Okay.
please.
That's let's go to an
Right.
upscale ramen bar. Sure.
All right, so you hit up a ramen bar in one of the corpo districts,
Yes.
which means that it is more quiet and private than these places usually are.
Yes.
You don't roll up to a street booth and literally sit down, but you have some nice high quality stuff made with fresh
Fine
grains.
ingredient.
I was like, please give me the extra large tonkatsu ramen.
And I
Extra
basically,
tonkatsu.
I
The side of
basically
kibbusa.
I basically motioned to the chef, being like, "My tab."
I feel
He
like
gives
I
you
would,
a very the chef is obviously a former refugee. Came straight from Japan during the war, so he just gives you an incredibly stoic nod and goes to work.
enjoying his ramen. Maybe a bit too enthusiastically.
Well, we gotta wait. He's
Yeah,
making it.
He's making it. You guys have a few minutes to discuss the job quietly amongst yourselves.
It's like,
I'm in a different mask. This one is much more Phantom of the Opera.
All right.
Okay.
So you can actually see what used to be my face.
Yeah, got some damage. It's weird. We have a thing about faces in this group.
Oh, I've had a thing about faces with like every character I've made. I don't know what.
No, I'm just saying that in our particular group, we've got 2 head injuries.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
But was this? Wait, I forget. Is this after I went under the knife? Or
Yeah, this would
before?
be after. This is like evening, we'll say.
All right, like Claymore keeps like pinching his cheek. Is like, man, that anesthetic is always something, man. Woo.
You probably
actually gotta
occasionally, rub the back of your neck where the access jacks are inserted.
Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, so Claymore's gonna pull up a duffel bag. That's like, got us a little something, something, little special something, for just in case that something, something happens at the something, something.
Okay.
I think I know it already. Make sure we.
So, special occasion.
It's he opens up.
Okay, you open up a duffel bag? All right.
Yeah, it's the military. It's military grade spray can explosive. It's like they're dirt simple to use. You see the nice little arrow. You point that there. You push one button. You press the second one. It sprays out. 4 or 5 seconds is enough to get the whole canister out. Then you take this little chip here in the back, crack it, stick it in the foam, and please back up to a safe and reasonable distance. Super easy.
By the way, as he did say these are military surplus, he is not kidding. You can see, like, actual honest-to-God, property of the U.S. Army logos on it. They're all in olive drab with, yellow
like
block
old,
text.
It's like fucking old, like, Singularity tech, huh?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, like I said, during the war, there was a lot of production and this stuff, and not all of it got used, and it had to go somewhere. Unfortunately, that somewhere was usually into someone's back pocket. But if you know the right person, they'll be willing to dish it out for you. But
I'm imagining basically like an epoxy gun.
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
Like you said, it extrudes the foaming explosive, which fills the space, and the detonator is attached at the end, or a wire.
Now I just have flashbacks to the terrible explosives from fucking Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's like, but slight complication. My supplier needs a little bit something for that, and thankfully, it's not the job site. I just need to swipe a couple cases of the RFIG tags that the Combine uses.
Probably on the way.
Difficult.
I'll be that hard.
Like I said, basically, if we can maybe swing by a storage facility, maybe, man, who knows? Maybe we might find something else nice.
I'll start.
It's always fun.
I'll plot a route.
It's always fun to go window shopping on these jobs.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Especially when it's on someone else's dime.
Right.
Anyway.
So, Claymore, how much are you for waiting a few minutes before turning on firecrackers?
Well, depends on what, when, and why.
Well, we're surprise guests, so I thought we might want to wait a little bit before they notice that we're here for get them a gift.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about waiting. It's like either you go in there's either two ways. Well, excuse me. There's three ways. Either you start quiet, end quiet. You start quiet, end loud, or you start loud and end loud. I'm gonna tell you right now. This makeup right here. We're not start quiet, end quiet. We have no matrix support.
We're starting quiet, ending loud.
Yeah. We have no matrix oversight. We have no. We're not the delicates. We're a lot of planning, and then a lot of vrooming, and then a lot of booming.
I'm expecting this to take 10 minutes, but it's going to be the most slowest 10 minutes of our lives.
Oh, don't say that. You never know how long it's going to take. Trust me, you never know how it's going to take.
Fair
Don't.
enough.
Yeah. Specifically, it's interesting to think about your makeup in terms of the playbooks. You've got Pusher for social engineering, Driver for exfil, Killer is murder, Soldier is, let's see, Edge is your good stat, right?
Yes.
So you're good at assessing and then also threatening violence.
We were actually talking about that. We unintentionally made a pretty balanced party of one person that's good at on-site interaction, one person that's good at footwork interaction, and then two people who are kind of 50-50 or 70-40, or 70-30 rather.
Yeah.
Now, depends on how we want to hit the objectives. From what I understand of the info you gave us, a lot of the security is in drones and electronics and sensors and whatnot, right?
Yes, it is.
That means that most of that stuff is probably either held out of one of two ways. A decentralized network or a centralized network. Were you guys able to figure out which one is which?
I'm working on that tonight, actually. I have an appointment to work on one of the security team members.
You do know, I will throw this out there in the outline, you do know that they at least have a central facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he is amenable to my viewpoints. Therefore, I'm going to try and get him to give some information to a sympathetic ear.
What you guys have looked at from your general stuff is, obviously you guys, because these guys eyeballed it, they saw uniformed security guards on the major car entrances, right? They got a guy to take your ID, scan you in. If somebody decides to just blow through the gate, he pulls out a PDW and, gives you at least a bad time.
No.
Does he stop you? I don't fucking know. He's a mall cop.
Sorry.
What you guys have observed is, in addition to the heavy shit, the Ladons, they've got the standard, the usual. They've got Kerberos model security robo-dogs, armed with chem sniffers and those lovely vibro jaws. Just great.
God.
Go for the hammies.
Oh no.
But those are short range pursuit drones. You know, you don't call them the dogs with the Dobermans anymore. You have robots for that.
Yeah.
And they've also probably got some pretty standard issue, quad rotor drones armed with standard issue theft prevention systems, tasers, maybe a pistol.
Now, so.
Oh, and I've run in case because it's been a while. You guys all saw the pictures of the Texas Rangers as well.
Yeah. I think also Odin has some on his phone a small clip of what the Lawdons look like in action.
Oh, you got some fucking phone footage from a post-war protest? Yeah. It's not fun. This thing, you see a protest where they've stacked some junk cars as a barricade. This, giant, like I said, 4-meter tall quadruped drone takes its giant fucking front legs, throws the 2 cars on top of the barricade to either side of the street, and just wades in with a water cannon into this crowd of people, and they go down like bowling pins.
This is why I think we start quiet, because I don't think we want these awake.
Well, let me finish, LT.
Alright.
So, even if we start quiet, if we don't take out the drone we don't take a drone center, they're going to start putting the alarm on anything, and we're going to have a bad time regardless. Like, Carnage is a good gun, but I don't want to be going toe-to-toe with no Rangers and no low Lowdowns for any expended amount of time. It's like, I'm good at it, I'll win, but, like I said, I'll probably have a mighty, mighty bad limp at the end of it.
It's true. This is a bang and burn up. You guys are not equipped for extended fighting.
No.
So,
I'm not equipped for fighting.
I could do some pot shots, but otherwise I'd still be training up.
I'm going to warn you, gentlemen, up ahead. If it comes to a firefight, I will most likely be grabbing the target and making an expeditious retreat.
Well, like I said, that's always the plan B. So, the way I see it is, A, we go in from an oblique angle. Like I said, we can buy a damn welding torch at the corner store right now. We cut a couple holes in the fence. We have the car on standby out on the back. Actually, Squirrel, that's a good question. Are you actually going to be coming inside on this?
If I absolutely have to, no, because I do not like the sight of any sort of guns.
I see.
Keep in mind, Squirrel, you explicitly have the remote control module with multitasking.
Yeah, I can.
So you can operate your drones and your car from offsite.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, do you relay that?
Yeah, he'll relay that. I can come in, of course. And I
have
my exfiltration specialist buddy.
Yeah. Well, that'll be useful. As long as you keep the car hot and ready for a quick getaway, that'll be good. But we got to get in there. We got to take out we got to take out their eyes. We got to take out their eyes. After we take out their eyes, we can take a little bit more time trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Because one, as I said, we have 2 objectives. We got to find the physical, and then we got to get the digital. Personally, I don't want to lug no damn prototype. I don't know how big it is. I don't know what kind of tracking software they got on it. I don't know what kind of security they got on it. Just blow it up and call it good.
Yeah.
I will say, if it is a manageable size, I think we should take it. But if it is cumbersome, I don't think it's good to waste resources on it.
Okay, so Squirrel will hold up 2 fingers here and just 1, make love, 2, and then 2 is just data.
That's like I'm telling you right now, if I see that damn physical thing, I'm shooting it. There is, like I said, have you played enough with enough Corp technology to know that they don't do anything without sticking a number amount of bugs and tracers on it?
There's ways to get rid of those tracers.
Do you have it?
I might.
Do you want to go into a job with a might?
Not exactly.
No, but I'm just saying, if I do have it, I will let you know at the site.
Well then, until then, I'm going with the plan of I'm gonna wreck it.
That's fair. If I don't have it, by all means. I'm more focused on the blueprints anyway.
Keep in mind, so that they got a list when talking about your cred. You got the fair prices zone. And technically, I feel okay saying that Claymore didn't have to spend any additional money on the job right now because you decided to have your contact have you do another thing, basically.
Yeah.
Instead of paying her for the gear right now, you're doing effectively a job that's probably worth 2 cred worth of pay, if not more, for free.
Yeah.
To square away your debt. But starting on page 128 of the PDF, you can look at the fair prices zone. Usually you want to hit the streets to get this stuff, but you can also do it with other things. You can actually get access to, for instance, for 2 cred, you could get a hacker. Like, you could hire a hacker to do hacking if you wanted. You could get additional
never mind.
muscle.
I do have a way to get rid of tracers. I'm an idiot. I have a way to get rid of trackers. Yeah. My Cybercoms has jamming on it.
Oh, yeah, you can jam
I can
counts.
jam frequencies on it. So yeah, no, I have a way to get rid of trackers. I just didn't look at my fucking sheet.
But other things you could get is for 2 cred, for instance, you could get professional muscle, a single dangerous individual or competent gang, or you could get heavy weapons, or drones hacking programs. I don't think any of you have 4 cred to spend, so you cannot, unfortunately, get the real big boy shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I have a way to get rid of trackers. I just am stupid.
okay. Oh, okay.
You can bring that up. You got jammers.
All right. Well, if the chaplain wants to do that, the chaplain gets to do that. But again, if the damn thing's cumbersome,
Padre.
Oh yeah, no. If I can't carry it, by all means, destroy it.
but again, I lost my train of thought. Oh, look, ramen.
God, this is
Ramen break.
5 minutes
Spoilers,
later.
I'm probably going to make instant ramen for dinner tonight. I haven't eaten yet.
You also probably think Samuel is heathen because he's eating ramen with a fork and for some reason twirling it like spaghetti.
That's feet.
The chef disapprovingly looks at you, but he'll take your money, so he doesn't say anything. He occasionally glares at the katana lovingly bolted over the countertop.
If he does that, I will switch to chopsticks and become extremely clumsy with them. But I will try.
All right, you're a polite guest, but you look like a doofus.
Yes.
Now, once we get to the physical, whether or not we destroy it, things might... I don't know the security on it. Do you actually guys have any full security measures around these things?
Nobody's actually locked in how secure any of the items are. You know that the data planes are stored in a sub-basement of the central control building. And you know that the physical prototype is stored in a
Armored car.
a rail yard. You also know that based on your observations when you notice those Texas Rangers, those guys are also near that rail building.
Yeah. So we know one security measure for them.
The Walker boys are over by the physical prototype.
Yeah. Well, the way I see this going, things are going to get loud once we get near the prototype, so we need to get the blueprints before that.
Yeah.
Also, if we get the blueprints before things get loud, we can just cut and run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, well, you had...
I may know of a hacker friend.
Oh, okay.
I'm also working on the security detail, and hopefully I will have exact details after I have a conversation with my new friend.
All right.
Now, the thing he was hired for.
Right. Like I said, the only thing is I got to make a side into some storage area, so if anyone gets some information on where they might keep the RFID tags or any other maybe nice portable toys, that'd be nice obliged. Mighty obliged.
Depending on how the night goes, I might be able to get you that information. Red, depending on how well I roll, I'll probably get you that information.
Yeah.
All right.
Omega?
Yeah, that's me. What do you need,
So from
Odin?
like the move of I love when a plan comes together, can I use that hold to say that we have an object on site, or do I need to have like some
Okay, let me look at
facing
it.
narrative for some of those things?
All right.
Actually, you know what? I just realized you should have rolled this already.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's when you start a mission.
Oh, okay.
My bad, I did
I
not
need
double
to-
check. So roll edge.
I thought it was like the sort of as in the
No,
labor.
it is when you plan a mission.
Yeah, it's when you start the mission. So
Yeah.
we started the mission.
I'm
so-
sad because I don't get to use my start the mission ability.
I get to
It
at least
doesn't
I
really
at least
apply.
do here's the plan when we do the action phase at least. So
What's the...
Nice note.
Oh, when you begin a mission that furthers your vision. Okay, yes.
Yeah. This is not.
This
I
is
can't swing it
tangential
this
to your
way.
vision, not directly.
okay, so I got a 6 and a 4. So that's a 12. So that's 3 holds.
All right, so you hold 3. At any time during the mission, any time, including legwork, you can spend it to have a piece of gear that you need right now or appear in a scene where you are needed right now.
So like I was hoping to save that for we need that certain kind of
Yes, you
gear
can do that whenever you need it. You don't have to establish that ahead
Yeah,
of
so
time.
it's like, be like when we're on the site. Okay, I have explosives, or there's already explosives. The tags are
Tax,
already.
this has been explained.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Piece of
I
gear?
assume it has to be within reason.
Yeah.
It has to be
can't
something you need right then.
Chosen
Well,
rogue.
it can't be, I have the exact key to this door miraculously.
Or I have explosives.
I mean,
It applies.
key.
That's a bit
Key's
stupid.
probably not the gear, but like you could have like, oh, I have the exact kind of code breaker, lock breaker I need right
Oh,
now.
I got a
Like
default lock.
specific information, like information is more intel, but yeah, gear wise, you could be like, oh, I have the thing I need to blow this lock. I have the thing I need to hack this computer. You know, I've got the USB goober. You know, whatever stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So LT, do you got any ideas on this?
Okay, that's not me.
No.
This is a good time. Axe is thinking, but this might be a good time to bring up. Here's the plan and give them
Yeah.
tasks. So
It's like I talked a lot, but I'm not actually in charge of planning this.
Yeah,
thing.
no,
I
fair
do
enough.
my observations.
you're the action man.
Yeah.
I'm probably the
Is
assistant
it like
planner.
would it be for now, or would we do would he actually do the action plan?
So I've seen this done that you can, if you want to assign them tasks in legwork, we can say that you do that then, or you can wait until we're about to do the action phase and then be like, okay, here's what we're doing. You do this, you do this, you do this. Like, you can figure out how you want to break that up.
So meta, confirm your contact and try to find any specifics about security of our 2 locations.
Yes.
3.
The locations. Well, the location of one location and the details among 2.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually know where the RFID chips are yet.
I trust you can handle that.
Yes.
Claymore, I got a plan for you when we get on site. But
Oh, you got nothing for me right now? You sure?
I think you did good enough right now, but I think when we're on site, I'm gonna put all my trust.
Oh, don't do that. You're only gonna get let down. When you see that body count and you realize this is what you told me to do, you're gonna feel a little disappointed. So just point me towards the enemy. Don't expect any more or any less of it.
Fair enough. Sprawl, I'm gonna need you to. It's actually kind of hard to think about this mechanically because it's like,
Axe, you're a little quiet, by the way.
how about now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so it's hard to think about this mechanically for Squirrel, where I assume it's like just
Just tell him what his task is. You know, what do you want him to do that's left in legwork, if anything? You can tell him to just, don't cause trouble.
make sure you're ready on when we start. We need you to make sure that actually you can make sure you hit every corner perfectly.
Sprawl will just make a hand sign like, we're okay.
All right.
I mean, I can actually, so, you told him to prep, I could actually fluff that as if he wants to actually, hit up a contact for some shit, he can take his +1 going on that.
Yeah.
Or other stuff.
Okay.
But okay, so you've got your plan to finish up legwork.
Yeah.
You've eaten your ramen. Is it, everybody break time? Anything else to say?
Any sort of like, guess meet up for when the
Yeah, meet up
But-
around for probably like an hour or 2 before we actually do the thing. Probably
and
a day or 2 now.
location. Yeah, other than being somewhere by the target.
It's probably some kind of.
I mean, so they're near the shipping docks. You can probably find like a working class corpo dive bar.
Yeah, it's probably like a
You can
dive
find some
bar.
industry parks.
There's probably like some like shipping. Probably like a nearby kind of more like for a free rent shipping yard nearby.
You store it. Got it.
Okay.
Alright.
Be there when. Okay. I'll check in on stuff.
The podcast is kind of slow about that. I just have to like think about the words for it.
No, that's all right. You're the man with the plan.
Okay. So,
So I'm thinking about this. It's actually kind of funny with the way the driver is. Your primary is cool, so
Yeah.
what you want the driver to be doing is doing something under pressure, like doing the high speed, low drag stuff. But
yeah.
I don't know where you have that in your plan.
Yeah.
I guess because he's exfil, you can work on that.
Yeah, the goal is when we get to the action is that you need to be able to make sure that you get in and take us out.
As long as he has the exfiltration specialist drone.
Yeah.
Lamb.
Yeah.
And keep things off our tails.
Yeah. Anyhow,
What's the to remind everybody of the group? What's all the stats in your larger drone, the medium one, buddy?
Okay, I'll pull that up. Buddy is medium. Is motive is quadruped. Is armed with an automatic shotgun. 3 harm close near loud messy auto fire. Sensor is thermographic, and his weakness is that it's loud.
Okay. Well, you get 2 more from any category, so.
Oh, right. Did I get about that?
So you can get either 2 more strength or 2 more sensors.
Oh, yeah,
or
I forgot
combination
about
of the 2.
that.
All right, well, pick them now.
Okay. Yeah, that was one thing.
So it's rugged and thermographic with an auto shotgun.
Okay. Okay, so thermographic still can see through walls unless it's like lit or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to see your strength. Okay, so I have it armed. Should I have it? I'm just thinking about what else I could on here. Strength. Stealthy doesn't make sense when it's very loud.
You can make it fast and autonomous.
Yeah, so autonomous would mean that it operates on its own without you needing to tell it what to do all the time.
Yeah, I think I'll do that fast and autonomous.
Okay.
So I can just give initial command and it'll just go out.
Alright. It's basically a souped up version of the kind of drones that you'll may be running into, but this one's armed with a mounted auto shotgun.
Yeah. Okay.
For close quarters work. Alright, okay.
So, break?
Yeah, break.
Okay, so I think Sprawl will go meet up with contact.
Alright. Declare contact. So, name them and describe them.
Okay, I'll say contact is named Wildside. Someone who pretty much deals with computers and getting information in and out of them.
Alright. So, a freelance hacker?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
Okay. And do they owe you a favor or do you owe them a favor?
I'm gonna say they owe me a favor because I got them out of a tricky situation.
Alright. You did a hot exfil? Okay. So, you're calling them up. What do you want from them?
Okay, I'll just be like, Trey's like, hey, I have a job that I need help with. Something to do with getting some special data out of a computer at a site.
Alrighty. So, go ahead and roll plus style.
Okay. And my style is what?
You get your car's boost, I think.
No, it does not boost that.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Not hit the street.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Style's -1. Okay, so
I was about to say, that's a separate move, Sweet Ride.
Yeah. Okay, so that is an 8 minus 1 is 7.
Alright, 7 plus, you get what you want. Choose 2 from the list below. The request is going to cost you extra. Your request is going to take some time to put together. Your request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences. Your contact needs you to help them out. So, hiring a freelance hacker is normally 2 cred.
Okay.
Or if you want him to just acquire you software, it's also 2 cred. So you can decide whether you want, like, to hire an outside guy or you want to just to give you the tools, but if you pick it's going to cost you extra, I don't think you can do that because that will... it's double the cost or add a condition. So,
Okay, I'm going to say, choose 2 from this book. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so first one, I'll say my contact needs me to help them out with something.
Alright.
And then, guess the other one is my request to attract complications.
Alright.
We're just adding.
Alright, so
That's
you
how it
call
goes.
him up.
Yeah.
And you like, hey, Wildside, I need a hacker. And he's on the phone. You hear gunfire in the distance, and he's like, all right, if you want a hacker, you need to come pick me up right the fuck now, brother.
Right on it.
All right, for under pressure.
All right. The dark cyberpunk music starts to play. You hit
It's
the
like-
pedal to the metal.
It's like location.
All right. He beams it to you now. You're ready to go.
Crap.
So, you're gonna drive on up and get him?
Yes.
All right. You leave the corporate side of town. You head out from even the refuge hoods into some of the old suburbs, which are horribly decrepit now. They're being demolished every day to build new corporate workspaces or new modern housing blocks and arcology towers. But until they get demolished, some of them are a hangout for gangs and for corporate black budget ops. You don't know what's going on with your buddy Wildside, but
Right.
you know it's something. So you rolling up on the location, you can still hear the distant sound of gunfire.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm going to... Okay. So I hear the distant sounds of it. I'm going to... Is it a place I can still drive to, or just...
Yeah, no, you're in an old suburb area. You got grid streets.
Okay, I'll drive there. Because,
Alright.
hey...
Speed right up to him?
Yeah.
All right. That's act under pressure. Roll cool.
Okay. And this one I can use my
Oh, yeah, you
car
can.
staying power, so that's going to be a +3 to this roll.
Is it does my plus add in this case too?
No.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so that's 6 plus 1, that's 7, plus 3, that's 10.
All right, you do it, no problem. You come, quiet, electric turbines in your engine. You do an elegant power slide right up to him, kick the passenger door open.
Get in!
Yeah, he dives from behind the transformer box, dives into the side. You auto shut the doors with your mind link, slam the pedal to the floor, peel on out, just as a hail of automatic gunfire from some asshole in the back you don't even know hits the asphalt where you were seconds ago, and you blaze away into the night. Wildstar kind of adjusts his cool, slick, thermal cooled suit he's wearing. Adjusts his mirror shade AR sunglasses, pulls some dreads out of his face, and he's like, "Damn, brother, you came at a perfect time. All right, what's the job?"
Alright, he'll just give them the lowdown on it, just like, it's like, gotta do center at RGC's, off-center site of Maglev. Is it a Maglev site?
Yeah, it's next to the maglev lines.
It's a data center next to the Maglev sites. Need to get out a blueprint on their, Project 3i.
All right, extraction.
Yes.
You want a on-site, or do you want a tool for this? You want a goober?
I would, I can already tell you right now that there will be the Texas Rangers there, but they'll be in a different spot, but they also have other, things. I would probably wouldn't want to involve you too much when they have things that have SMGs on them.
All right, brother. Well, you just saved my skin, and I already owe you for that time with that thing. So, all right, I'd go in there for you. But if you just find something simple, give me. He checks his smartwatch. 12 hours tops. I'll get you a thing. He'll
All
take
right.
care of that, no problem. I already know what software code base RGC is on. I'll get you a little virus. It'll scoop your blueprint, no problem.
Alright, thank you.
Just shoot me the deets to my cyber deck.
I will.
All right. Then he gives you a place to drop him off in the city.
Okay.
Somewhere in one of the entertainment districts.
Okay. He'll drive there.
All right. And so Wildstyle goes on to finish whatever job he was on, and we'll come back to you with a thingy. Basically, narrative-wise, he's going to give you the equivalent of a future USB thumb drive that's basically got an auto virus on it that's gonna you plug it into the computer, it'll search the entire database, find the project files you're looking for, copy and paste them onto the USB drive, thumb drive, and then you're ready to go.
Okay.
clone it to some local storage devices.
So I'm gonna guess that was the complication.
What was the complication?
What was the
That he had to
complication?
pick him up from a gunfight.
I mean, there were two things I picked.
No, there's an unextended consequence. That was
Because
you
I
get him a
picked-
job.
I picked the
Yeah, no.
help them out. That was the help them out part. The complication.
You guys have several unknown complications waiting in the wings,
I'm ready for this.
along with
job to
potential
go
unknown
fucking up.
complications on the job. You don't know if you found all the twists.
I'm
Yeah.
ready for this to get up. Like, fuck.
known complications that could just come up from character stuff.
Oh yeah, you
Oh, yeah,
already
no.
know. You have known complications and unknown complications. Known knowns
Yes,
and
no.
unknown knowns.
Known knowns and unknown knowns, and yeah.
Unknown unknowns.
Oh no.
I only
Alright.
know that there are unknowns.
Oh god,
Okay.
I'm ready for this to go horrible.
So I think if nobody else has any other shit they want to do, if nobody else wants to get some new cyberware, want to secure some new shit on the street, get some more tech
I'm good.
stuff.
I have 1 cred left. I'm broke.
I think I'm gonna hold on right now. So I think we let it do the thing.
Unless I decide to get owned again, I'm like, no.
No, you can't. Getting double. I don't think you can get double owned. I think it just gets worse.
I mean, you can
No,
get double owned. You
can.
can
You
pick
can
a
get
different
owned by
group.
multiple people.
It just gets
Fair
fuckier for you. Okay.
Yeah.
You can sell your soul as many times as you
Oh
have the
yeah, and I
credits
should
for.
say, I forgot to mention this earlier, or to double down. To basically pay him for the soft, you're gonna need to float him 2 cred.
Okay. I'll pay him 2 credit, of course.
Okie dokie. All right. Don't worry, you guys are gonna get paid handsomely if this goes off.
The way you say that just gives me dread.
I mean,
Well,
worst
remember,
comes
you have to
worst.
roll get paid,
Yeah, I know.
I do.
and
I
legwork's
rolled
not
that.
done yet. You guys have been pretty quiet.
What does get paid with?
Plus legwork? Basically, how much of you didn't advance the legwork clock? So,
How much does the clock look at, or do I know?
I don't think I'm supposed to give you the exact details, but you know that you haven't failed a lot of moves, so you haven't moved it a lot.
Okay.
I did call it at least one explicit move it up, so you've
Okay.
lost a little bit of space, but there's still plenty of space left.
There's a lot. I think there's like 8 spaces on that clock. So yeah.
I don't know, but we gotta. Honestly, I think we have most of what we need.
Yeah, we're just
Most
All right.
of.
that was to finish this thing up, and I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, just
Freaking
remember,
what's-
if anybody, if you want to find some more fair price on some cred stuff, acquire some other tech, etc.
Oh,
Think about it.
I want to kind of. No, recording stuff actually looks like it's a listed gear item. I don't think I can say that's, and it's not intrinsic to the killer, so no, I probably have to wait on
No, I think you could find that with cred.
with 1 cred. Do I want to go broke?
Great.
Why-
Oh my! Why is this a? Never mind. Sorry.
Well, actually, let me double check something here. Recording.
I hate Twitter.
I want to get it encrypted.
Actually, hold on, I'm second.
What?
So you're thinking about, I assume that's something the reporter has normally in their gear, is some shenanigans.
Well, yeah, because I know there's recording things. It's plus audio plus video, and then you can get like options like simulsense and encrypted. I just don't remember where I saw it.
Let's see.
So the reporter has AR glasses, basically. Choose to light amp mag recording. And they also have encrypted communications equipment or recording equipment. Does
Yeah.
the Pusher also have access to some stuff? SimSense recording equipment. Yeah, so musical instruments, encrypted comms relay.
There's probably one that actually has direct recording stuff because I think everyone else is recording. You can have encrypted and jamming common relay shit for other characters though.
That is still a gear list item. Do they actually have weapon tags? Other equipment, yeah. There's an other equipment list in Chapter 6 Assets, page 133.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's vision enhanced devices that says glasses, goggles, scopes. Basic models have 1 or 2 tags. More advanced, expensive models can have more. Available tags: thermographic, magnification, recording, flare compensation. Actually, I was talking about that helmet.
I can
Your
I can
helmet
cover you,
upgraded?
Brad.
With
Yeah.
goggles on it?
Well, yeah, it's a cyberpunk. I'm assuming just get a AR, get an AR inlay in my thing and get recording on it because I might want to record this and edit this and upload this to my YouTube channel.
Sure. You can get up to 2 tags. Do you want anything else on recording?
Oh, let's see here. Let's
Light
go.
amp magnification.
Flare compensation.
What was it looking?
I was thinking thermographic.
Okay, you can record an IR as well. All right.
Mhm.
So if you want to get that, you got to hit up your contact for that. So roll hit the street again. It'll be Hoshiguma. Hey, I forgot. I need one more thing.
And I was like, no, I'll just pay for it. I'll pay for it. Let me roll, though. That's plus... Well, that's plus
Style, so
zero.
plus 0 probably.
Yeah, plus 0. That's an 8 again.
Okay, you pick 2.
Can I just let it fail? Because I don't think I necessarily can. Like, either it takes longer. I'm like, no, I don't have time to wait. I'm already doing.
I mean,
an
you
extra
guys
thing.
do have some time. You're planning pretty fast, but
Yeah.
you could come to the group and be like, "Hold up, guys, I gotta wait."
Actually, wait. Here's a way. Could I use one of my holders to get him for it? Get him thing.
Is it a piece of gear you need? I don't think so.
No, it's not something I need.
Okay.
No. I'll just take a fail on it. There's been some
Okay,
fun.
well, so
It's more if you got it, but then you had to say no.
what would you pick basically? Like, what would be the circumstances? Just it's going to cost you other and take some time.
Yeah.
All right, so you call Poshiguma and you're like, "Hey, can I get some recording gear? I need some advanced optics." And she's like, "Okay, but you're already behind. If you want a rush job, it's gonna cost you extra, or it's gonna take a little bit." And you're like, "I don't have time for that." So you can just let it slip and decide not to pay it. I will say, because you still succeeded on the move on the partial hit, you can pick up this deal anytime, but it's going to cost you 2 cred, and it's going to take her a little bit to get it to you. So
okay.
when you want to, you can pay for it later, but for now, you don't have the money and don't want to wait on the time for the job. So
yeah,
you can just leave that hanging, you know.
Okay.
And you're like, "I'm a little light right now. I'll get back to you." And she's like, "Okay, don't forget that job for me." All right. So it's that. I mean, you know, this.
I think we go to Metatron in like their meeting.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Also said it's safe. Okay, so I wrote that down as just plus breach, but technically I'm looking at the explosives list. That should be actually. It should specifically list plus AP and plus loud as well, even though that also gives you plus breach. No, breach is automatically loud and AP, but I've thought it was separate. It's not. Can I copy this whole thing? Yeah, okay, I can just copy the page for you guys.
Yeah, no, and I do want to say, if you can think of something outside that list, don't be shy.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of, there are rules for custom gear and tags and even cyberware. It's just that, this is the default stuff. Some of this is in characters' gear. Other stuff is, just cyberpunk shit you might want.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Hey, does one of you want to pick up a stealth suit? I don't know.
Yes. Oh,
This section also has the full-blown rules for building vehicles, drones, and cyberdecks if you also want to end up doing any of that. But, alright. Let's go ahead and sounds like probably do the final chunk of the legwork. I was right, this will take 2 weeks. We've taken almost 3 hours.
Yeah. It means I have time to think about my next plan for next week, I guess.
Yeah, you'll have a little bit of time to think about your stuff.
I
Alright,
got my 3 holes.
Metatron, you, in disguise, go on down to where Gaius Lupo crashes after work.
Yes, probably a bar or some similar atmosphere.
Yeah.
Somewhere I could accidentally bump into him.
Mm-hmm. So, it's still somewhere on the industrial side, on the south side of the city, but he's a corpo hacker, so he makes decent cash. So it's upper scale,
It's very upper middle class kind of bar.
Maybe a little bit of a tourist trap, sometimes people come off the boats because there's a lot of international shipping. They come off the boats and they decide to stay. You see him drinking a Crazy Ocho, which is a alcoholic energy drink because it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
He's sipping it out of a real metal can, catching up on last night's sports figs.
I'll sit down next to him at the bar. I assume he's at the bar.
Yeah.
I'll sit down next to him at the bar and I'll just strike up a normal conversation with him,
Sure.
How about that local sports ball?
How about that sports team that did the thing? No.
Yeah.
I am more. My character is more suave than that.
Well, actually, here's a good question. What kind of sports maybe would you follow? Obviously, we said earlier, baseball's probably pretty big. You probably still play what is officially Gridiron now because it's a cyberpunk future. We can't not have cyberpunk football.
I mean, LA is like, if we're going to the LA San Francisco area.
No, you would have several. You have several NFL teams in that area right now, so it'd be some big stuff. But also,
it is all it's the baseball and basketball town is generally
basketball is definitely probably a thing. You know, you guys went to great lengths to reclaim that from some other nations. Still sometimes play international games. I also expect another big thing is probably esports. Like much like now, that is straight up a thing that's like really huge. You'll block out arenas to watch people play virtual versions of sports, first-person shooters. All of which is like esports is all probably SimSense now. It's VR, so it's extra real and gritty. So
and I'll basically sometime in the conversation, I will have been brought up I will just have brought up lamenting about my own work. For the sake of this, I'm a pencil pusher, corporate drone, nothing, no one special.
Do you name drop Stone and Sons, or are you just anonymous?
No, Crosssec. No, wait, no, they're using. Who is the company that he would have the least relations with?
You can just probably maybe make up some weird one or something.
You could make up a new corp, or let's see. Rio Grande is in heavy industry.
Disney.
Oh, okay. All right, you're a cube pencil pusher at Disney, so you don't even do any fun shit. I expect Disney Warner Media Group's Imagineers division is basically like a mad science lab now.
Yes.
Those guys are already that bad, but like Cyberpunk future.
I assume there is things that come out of that room that will change a person irrevocably.
I mean, there's also probably a situation of like, how can we cyber someone up to do this thing without having to pay stunt doubles?
No. These guys are head of animatronics. You already talked about service androids. No, if you see mascots at Disneyland, they're robots now. They're probably VR operated by a real human actor, because we've already talked about how AI is not super advanced, but like, they got robots for that.
Like, unironically, Disney is probably the company that is genuinely pushing robotics the most, in the US at least.
Well, and because a combination of, like, advanced CGI and advanced robotic animatronics makes film better as well. So
also, they have all of the money ever.
Mm-hmm. No, they own a lot of major entertainment brands, like a lot of the subsets. So
even if you don't think they don't.
I mean, most of it makes sense.
And joking about Warner, like, that means they would, since the merger, that means they own both Marvel and DC, so they basically own comic books.
And maybe we actually get a decent DC Universe movie. Yes, Internet, I said it. All of the DC movies bar 2 suck. And I say that as a diehard DC Comics fan.
Honestly, Dallas, to be off topic for a second, that's what I hear out of most big DC guys. Most of them are just like, oh yeah, those movies are awful. Most of them are bad.
It's like, Wonder Woman was 3/4 good, and the Joker was good, and that's literally it. Aquaman was entertaining. That's the best I can say.
That tracks.
Okay, all right, but yeah. So you talk the corporate talk. He opens up a little as he takes a long pull from his drink. He talks about his job. He's cybersecurity, but he does mention that. And you probably maybe you talked to him a little about, there's a million guys doing my job. He's like, yeah, that's how cybersecurity is with RGC. Everything's automated, so there's like 50 guys with my exact job title all doing the same thing. We just sit in front of our keyboards and our decks all day, man.
Yeah, and it's like no one talks to one another anymore. It's like we're all so separated. See, I found this really interesting thing online the other week. Have you ever heard of it? It's called the Church of the Human Collective. Or the Church of the Collective Intelligence, and that is where I make my role, I believe.
So you are doing your vision
thing.
Time and space for an emotional connection, and advocate for your vision. So he probably asked you a couple questions. He's like, "Oh, never heard of it," and then
remember, like, well, it's this idea of transhumanism connection. And I'm going to make it sound very fluffy and like,
on the back
end, not the smash the system like. I'm not using the smash the system approach. I'm much more of the like, we need to bring it, the hippy dippy, like, we need to bring everyone together, man.
Yeah.
I assume you get your +1 from your assassin and then +1 from the plan as well?
Yes, actually, because you've got a +1 ongoing because he told you to go do this, and you have a +1 forward because you're using your question, so you get another 2 to this. So you should be rolling pretty goo.
Uh,
I believe they
Oh.
stack if they're from separate.
is there a reroll mechanic?
No? How bad you do?
Well, that's not good.
What is it?
I got a 4. I rolled Snake Eyes.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, so
What's your
yes,
style?
My style. Oh, I got a 6 then.
Ooh, that is still indeed a miss.
Literally is the only thing they could have missed.
The fuck?
Ah, snake eyes.
God, I had that gut feeling.
Well, that's how it works.
Oh shit.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you start to
Damn.
tell him about the thing. You share it with him, and then,
He just doesn't bite.
well,
Yeah, nothing happens.
he's nodding. He's thinking about it, and he's working.
Or it could go the other way and he buys it too hard.
Oh, I
Okay,
cannot
hold on.
believe that I
Thinking
could
about my
not
choices,
fail
this is
except for a 2.
This is the first time I've actually had to make a hard move. So
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you make a hard move for
I
this.
knew
yeah.
I knew we were doing too well tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere is going to be.
I mean, I was expecting some twists up as when we did the whole thing on the ground. but-
yeah, no. So you start talking. He starts nodding. I imagine with a name like Gaius Lupo, he's probably either Hispanic or even Southern European. Maybe even looks kind of like yourself. He's kind of nodding. He's John like, yeah, man. That's all this networking stuff. It's just everybody's so separate. We don't even talk to each other. We're all just jamming our drones, man. He takes a long pull of his crazy
Oh,
Ocho.
Jesus.
He signals for the bartender to get him another. Cracks the can. Takes a long pull.
Oh,
You see his hand
Oh,
start to
Jesus.
jitter. He's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go. We'll go look this thing up right now. Oh, those guys. Yeah, I'll show them. And unfortunately, before you could actually get a chance to do your vision thing and get him in your spell, he just slams back another energy drink alcohol and gets on out of there. I'll show them, he says. I'll get him.
Oh Jesus!
like
We have to go. We have to go now.
Go now what? Wait, who are you talking
Actually,
to?
that's a good question. Is that the
The
call?
group.
Are you going to send up the guys? We got to do the job now.
Guys, code
red?
code bad. Code oops, I accidentally ISIS radicalized someone. What code is that?
Code
This,
Ice.
and Claymore will say very solemnly, "This is what we like to call an act of God."
Code, I did my job too well.
I mean, you didn't even get to talk to him about the thing. He just looked on his own, so it's like before you push.
I mean, he shared his vision with him. That's what you do when you do vision thing. But the thing with missing is that went in a radically and dramatically fast direction right away.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the weird thing is, do we wait for them to
This
cause
is
a
code.
problem?
By the way, I believe also Claymore could have a decent response. That this is
Fubar.
this is definitely FUBAR.
Yeah, no, this is definitely Fubar.
Okay.
We need to act because
Okay,
he's
okay,
going
okay,
to.
I'll go to Plasma Cutter.
I'm
Okay,
gonna-
do you want to... Actually, that's a thing. How do you want to acquire that? Do you want to spend one of your hold? Do you want to just have it with you right now?
I'm thinking about cases where I might want to actually use ways, because depending on how shit goes bad, it might actually do more things. So
So I have a gear token. Can I use it for that?
You could if you want to. That's your only gear.
Again, guys, I want to say, don't try and plan for every single individual contingency.
oh, fair enough.
No, I'm just gonna because I'm just gonna get a with my gear token. I'm gonna get a carrying container that I can carry the drone in. Basically.
how
I'll
big
say
the
you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be prepackaged.
Okay, then I'll get a plasma cutter then.
All
It's
right.
it's gonna be kind of like the fucking what the fuck was that thing in Cyberpunk? The drone you had to pick up.
The flathead.
Yeah.
It'll come in. It'll be stored in a case because you know that remember it's a high altitude cloud computing drone, so it probably is multiple small devices that come in a single case. All right, so you are like,
We need to go now.
Pack your shit. We need to go.
I mean,
Right.
theoretically, this could be good for us, but also it could be very bad.
Yeah, so
It's
like,
it's
do we
not a
wait
controlled
for shit to
variable.
go bad or
We
not?
do not wait.
Fair enough. We'll just go. Okay. Stay
All
in
right.
the car.
you got a few
Like I
hours
said,
before
if he-
dawn.
Yeah.
I guess the case is who goes in the car and who's offsite.
I'm on site.
Okay.
I have to pick the thing up.
Gotcha.
So the car is, keep in mind, it's cramped. I don't know if you can fit all 4 of you and all your shit and all the drones in it at once. So
I have a
Well,
car.
what's?
I have a car. It's
Oh, you
not
probably-
as. How do I put
Honestly,
it?
if it's cramped, I assume that it probably can't hold more than 2 people. Honestly,
Like 2 or
really,
3. Like
you
My
can
car is-
probably fit
and-
a third guy in there, but yeah,
it's not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be Claymore with body
Yeah.
armor, big guns.
and we need,
Yeah.
how did you
So-
in the car?
So, well,
No,
basically,
you don't
what-
need me in the car. You just need me at the site.
Fair
what
enough.
I assume is going to happen is the driver is Squirrel is going to drive off with me when I get the package.
I'll probably be in the car too, but depends, I guess. I could do something.
Well, no, you can. I have
So,
a second
okay,
car
okay.
that you guys can use.
yeah, you guys. He's got a car you can take, or you can roll up on public transit and exfil on foot.
It's
Can I-
less inconspicuous than his car, though.
Okay, can I? All right then. I would
And
like to
would like.
another contact then, if that's possible.
you can only do that once per mission.
One
Yeah,
for
one
me?
formation.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Want me to get someone?
No, I'll
What
figure
would
out
you
my-
be? What would you have been looking for?
I would have gotten like maybe an ex-military buddy that I know who would let me borrow a motorcycle or a car for a night or something.
I mean, you could use my car. It's just please don't break it.
I make no promises.
Oh boy.
I can.
Well,
probably-
okay, so let's. Why are we saying we need 2 cars? You guys are going to cut the fence.
Yeah, to get to the site though, and get away from the site.
Okay, right. So you want to exfil.
Yeah, I'm basically giving Claymore and Odin a getaway vehicle for themselves.
I also
Alright.
could just use.
You want to
yeah,
stash
yeah,
your
yeah.
you have that as one of your things. Did you take your sleek ride?
No, but I assume with who I am, I have a car. It's just not a conspicuous or special car in any way.
Okay, but if that gets tagged, that's going to get tracked to you personally.
Yeah, I know.
Can I use one of my hold actually just to have a vehicle in sight when we get there?
That is a piece of gear. You need an exfil? You need it right now? Okay. Because he took care of the torch, and like, you guys are discussing, wait, shit, who goes in the car? You're like, don't worry, I got it.
Okay.
I got
Okay,
this car.
it's pretty simple. To describe it to me. What chassis you're looking for? Car? Van?
Discreet car, not a van. Just like you can
Okay,
like hide
so-
behind the car.
Where is gear? Vehicle, so... car, and then... Civilian?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's one of those weird like nameless corpo cars. Like,
Yeah. You got a standard,
Like it's not under a name. It's under like a corp lot, which is like you can
Yeah.
rent that diff. So it's like
You have a standard rent-a-car. It's a... Oh, they've got some fun names here. Hold on. Let's see. What's a good one? Yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna put this down.
The Familia.
I have like 2 plant hold left, and then I have a.
So you actually pick up a model RGC Familia car.
Gotcha.
It's a nondescript sedan.
Okay.
It's a, factory slate gray, unadorned. Got a rental company QR code sticker in the back, but, you did it with prearranged disposable assets, so nothing to worry about there.
So it's like it was probably placed there in advance. So like that it's inconspicuous.
Oh yeah, no, you're with the way you've described your character, it makes perfect sense that the reason why you have a car right now when you're spending one of your hold is, I have a prearranged lot. Okay. So that's the get out for team. That's a good question. Are you guys A or B?
I think we're B because A is the blueprints.
So that's your Bravo vehicle. Alpha vehicle is Arrow. That makes perfect sense, actually. So just to finish your layout, well, we're ending the session here as you guys are going to the action phase, but to finish up your pre-setup, so Squirrel is going to be loitering off-site with his car, right?
Right.
With his...
Back.
Okay, Mike's back. So we're saying Squirrel will be loitering off-site in his car for the hot pickup.
Right.
And
I'm going to
I
be-
assume you're going to deploy at least one of your drones for Overwatch, if not both. Squirrel?
Yeah, I'm going to do probably the one they call Mosquito.
Mhm.
What do we-
The
That'll give
buddy
you
one
eyes.
buddy one is going to be used if things go crazy and they need something extra.
All right, so that'll be for you to when things go loud.
Probably gonna use that intel when we get to action phase. Be like, I know the drone layouts, so I know what.
Yeah,
how
you'll
we can-
you'll figure it out when we
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
roll
right.
up.
Yeah.
So, Metatron's got the torch. He's rocking it. He prepared with the thing he got,
Right, and I have that intel.
You have an intel as well if you need it.
Yeah.
And basically, you guys are going to arrive in your nondescript car? You're going to roll up in the sedan? Or is it stashed nearby for you to get it?
It's for us to get it.
Okay.
I assume it's
Then how do...
Okay, then drive in there.
Okay, Axe, the problem is, how do me, who has no car, get to these sites?
Oh no, I can pick you guys
You
up.
take a
bring you
bus
to the
and
site.
walk.
Well, I can also bring everyone to the site. I just can't leave my car there. I'll
Yeah,
have
he's got.
someone drive
He
it
also has a
home.
nondescript vehicle. He can have it delivered as well. I guess you talked about.
Well,
the
no,
chauffeur.
I just have to drive it home because it is tracked to me. So if someone basically cannot stay at the site, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, you don't want it to get tagged. Okay,
Can you self-drive
so
it?
he'll pick everybody up in his car,
we
and
can
you've got a
self-drive.
stashed exit.
Okay,
as well.
Omega. Okay, Omega, I'm gonna go take the bus and all my gear with guns and binoculars on my back. Okay, this is perfect. Totally looks like I'm not gonna go do something weird.
I mean, it is the cyberpunk future.
Alright, I'm just saying, you're saying it's okay, Omega.
I mean, yeah, like as the MC, I don't give a fuck how you guys get to the job site. That's not part of the plan. That's not part of the concern. It's a city. We discussed that there's a lot of extensive, like, public transit systems. There's a way to get it and hoof it.
Okay.
If you want to pull up, you said earlier you had a duffel. You want to hold your shit in a couple duffels. You get on the bus. You gear up and jog. I don't know. Dallas already said, though, he'll pick you up. So we're transitioning to the action phase. Again, like I said, I don't care, and the game doesn't care how you get to the site. I care about where you are next week when we go to it. So you guys are going to group up. I wanted to know, are you guys rolling up? It's Axe said the car, so he says that it's stashed nearby in a corporate parking lot, so you can get out. You got drone overwatch, so your plan is, and where we'll start, is you guys are going to cut the fence and wangle your way towards the data center first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that you guys will have to briefly hook up with Squirrel. He will give you the USB, so you can pop it.
It means I'll
I'll
probably
be keeping eyes out for any RFID chips while I'm there.
I'll do
You
the
might. So, to be fair, your legwork clock is not super advanced. You guys don't actually have to go right now, but I love the narrative of like, shit, the ball's rolling. We got to go right now before shit changes.
I'm just saying, realistically, what my character would think is, this guy is going to do something stupid, and that could fuck up our entire plan.
Right, no, like I said, you think he's going to go nuclear, and that could
I
completely
mean, if you
fuck up
want
your
me
plan.
to, I can just go end him.
That is also a thing. We could start a different scene where you tell Claymore you got a loose end.
Like, well, honestly, I won't know what happens until you tell me what happens.
Well, also, I don't think, because here's the thing, it could be useful to have him go nuclear.
Okay,
But
so
we just
that's a
need
good
to
point.
go now.
You would have to meet up physically anyway if you're going to pull the job, because like I said, you've got to trade some gear around.
I'll let all of
So-
you make the decision on that. I'll tell you what happened.
All right.
Whatever you guys want to do.
So
Do you have an address?
No, I do not.
Can I find this guy?
I mean, you could roll research to find him.
I have a work schedule. I don't have an address.
All right. Well,
probably went.
yeah.
You would have his
Research
picture,
is
so you
mine.
could stalk him,
Yeah.
jump him before he goes into work, but that would also probably be a little loud. So
Well, I mean, I got a machete and fists.
fair enough. So are you going to try and?
Yeah.
So hold on, because research is you're supposed to know what question you want to ask before you ask it. So
I want to know where this
where would I find Gaius Lupo?
Yeah,
All right, roll.
I did. I rolled an 11 -1 mine. That's still a 10.
All right, so you get a point of intel. You find out some additional information as you hunt this guy down.
Oh, you're looking for info if you kill him.
So he's in a corpo apartment block. It's not great housing, but it's the standard corporate subsidiary shit. They give you a discount rate. It's a couple of maglev stops over.
I'm gonna go end him.
Well, you also get to ask a follow-up question from this list as well.
Oh, you might have
dude.
his key card and shit.
Hang on. Let me pull it up.
I would
Where would I
ask you
find
questions.
X? How secure is X? Who or what is related to X? Who owned or employed X? Who or what
Well,
is
I
X
know where he
valuable
is,
to?
so I want to say. I guess I'll ask, how secure is he right now?
Okay, it's a standard corporate housing block. There's going to be CCTV. There's going to be mall cops. there might be an ID check, but there's also probably a back service door. You know these places all the time. This isn't your first bit of wet work. So he's not super secure, but you might have a couple of additional concerns.
Well, I'll deal with it when I deal with it, but I don't like loose ends.
So you're going to go take care of that right the fuck now?
I'm right the fuck now.
All right. You gear up. Are you taking anybody with you, or...
I'll tell people I'm going to go clean this up, and I'll let them decide if they want to come or not.
Metatron is currently hanging his head in shame and getting drunk. Well, not getting drunk, but just drinking out of shame.
By the way, may I make experience for resolving to violence and a more peaceable solution may exist?
Well, so technically you haven't done violence yet, but I'm pretty sure you're going to do violence, so yeah, I think it's fair.
Violence will happen.
Violence will happen.
No, yeah, you can go ahead and mark your experience on that, yep.
Yay.
And I'm going to take, because it's also something that my directed away. What does my tactical AI say about how I should handle this? Is I basically probably am the distance being like, I should probably make sure this doesn't get too loud.
This is a tactical, actually, I don't know, let's see, robotic. Does your tactical onboard AI Hugin speak, or is it like, does he communicate to you via AR?
AR, it has some words, but it doesn't have like an advance of dialogue.
All right, so you see the little crow icon pops up and reads you some text and is basically, flashes up to this guy. He's a loose end. This guy's a tactical threat. He's a vulnerability in your plan. This guy is Lupo. He needs to be neutralized immediately before he causes problems with your plan. And however, it would definitely note to you that it's
considering what's
actually no. The way your directives are like, this is a corporate tactical AI you've got. You've pulled jobs, not with it, but you've pulled jobs against RGC before. It's like, this guy's got to go. Hypothetically, this does in fact have nothing to do with your mission, and if you go loud, that could cause more rumors in the legwork clock. But no, it's like this guy's a tactical loose end. He is a dangling threat. You don't know how he's going to react. This is bad. He's fucking with your operational security.
I'll trust Hugin and I'll trust Claymore to do his thing.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to take that as heeding the advice of Hugin ahead of the mission? Yeah, go ahead and mark experience.
It might be hard to probably just let it blow under.
Hypothetically, not that I'm directing you at all, but the mission-safe way to do this would probably be for actually Odin, because he's got a good edge to, quietly corner this guy and be like, don't do any shit. Talk him down, but threateningly. Yeah. But no, just murdering him in the night, that leads to no further complications or problems. So, Odin, are you going to be on site with Claymore?
I'm probably going to be on site, but probably not in the building.
All right. So, Odin lurks on the street corner and smokes. All right. So, you're here.
Gear up. Let's go through the back door. Hey, check out this door. I'm just going to pop it open.
All right.
And just jimmy it with my machete.
Okay. Yeah, I do believe this is infiltrating. That's going to be act under pressure. You're avoiding danger, so roll cool.
Will my synthetic nerves work for this? Moving quickly and stuff, reacting good.
Yes. So
all right. Then I will take.
Also, hold on before you roll. Actually, did you say you would help?
Yeah. Should I roll help?
Yeah. How would you be helping him? Just talking him through, walking it out, or are you right there with him?
I'm probably not there with because I feel like I'll probably just interfere for him. So in this case, it's probably he's in his room right now. He'll be leaving for work in an hour.
How do you know this?
Bob, I forgot his name. Metatron has the work schedule.
Oh, okay, cool.
His complete work schedule.
Okay, cool.
He basically data mined the list of guys and has their what shifts they go on when they go.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a shift in an hour from now. You got a 30-minute block. The next bus is coming in 2 minutes. So probably
so you're standing on the street corner feeding him intel into his earpiece.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what, +1? Another +1?
Well, he has to roll it first, so roll your links.
Normally Metatron would be the one helping you, but he is currently in the cone of shame.
Anyway, let's
I'm just thinking sad Italian music. Sad opera.
I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
Okay, that's a 6 and a 1 and a +1, so that's an 8.
Okay, so you give him a +1 forward, but you're implicating the results of his move, so whatever happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
So roll cool with that extra +1 forward.
All right. Let's see here. So, cool +2. So that's +2. +7. That's 9. What happens on act under pressure?
You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
Well,
Is blood everywhere?
9?
what? Yep, 9.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so operator. You're so fucking Hotline Miami right now, buddy. Like, you were just the knight. You're in there. You're moving. You pull up to his apartment. He's left his door open. Inside, you hear him yelling. It sounds like he's talking to his girlfriend. He's on the phone right now. He's grabbing his bag. He's about to go for work. You can jump him right the fuck now. And I'll let you roll. Probably mix it up to meet him. But he's on a call. Somebody will literally hear you murder him. And quite possibly will dial the police or corporate sec, right?
Right.
Or you can wait for him to go out into the hall, end his phone call, but then he's out of his apartment in the building walking around at probably 5 a.m. at this point or something. You know.
Quick question. Are there cameras in the hall?
Are there cameras in the hall? There probably are some form of cameras in the hall. They're
All right,
probably
then
not
no.
looking right at his door, but there's cameras in this hall, yeah.
Oh,
All right,
notice
well,
blood.
so, guess what? I'm going in now.
All right. Alrighty. You're going to stab him with your knife.
Yes.
When you use violence to seize control of an objective, roll meat.
Meat. I have +2 meat. Actually, what is
So
mine?
roll mix it up.
Here we go again. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I rolled a 7 total.
All right. 7 plus, you achieve your objective. You seize control of his life. On a 7 through 9, choose 2. You make too much noise, you take harm, an ally takes harm, or something valuable breaks. I think an ally takes harm doesn't make sense in the fiction because your ally is outside.
Oh, let's go with make too much noise.
Okay.
Like I said, I also think it makes sense as he's on the phone and there might have been some screaming. You know, might have knocked something over in a panic. It wasn't a clean kill. It's a machete for fuck's sake.
All right.
There's literally blood everywhere.
We move the relevant action clock up.
Mm-hmm.
What's your other one? Something about you breaks or you take harm. I think would make sense.
Yeah, I know. But,
Maybe he need you in the ribs or something.
I'm just not. I don't know. This ain't like a Mitchell critical error. So I don't know if something of value. What? Oh wait, no, that means something I have can break. Oh no.
Yeah, you're carrying shit.
Yeah, no. I think harm is safer.
Yeah, I'll take harm as established by the fiction.
You
All
might
right.
just be able to take it.
So, let's see. Where is that being gear? I'm thinking. So, you go to jump him. You slide through the door like nobody's business, right?
Yep.
You know, you're ready to get in there, and just carve him up. He's on the phone. You think, he's nobody. And what's your harm on your machete?
Let me double check.
NPCs don't have the same harm rules as you guys do, but it is important.
I just wrote
3 harm hand.
3 harm hand? Alright, so it's 4 harm hand, because guess what? I can't out as a small gang.
Yeah. Does that also reduce the amount of harm you take?
Yes, by 1.
Okay, so, alright, we'll say for fluff, because they're the same harm level. You go in, you're like the knight, but you're also a big boy, so you step on a squeaky floorboard. He's got it, and he whips around, he's obviously prepped for something, like his hands are shaking, you can see the wild caffeine drunk eyes. In his free hand, he's holding like his phone up with his left. In his free hand, he whips out a telescoping baton. You go for the stab, you get him right in the heart. There's just a his blood sprays all over your chest piece. But before he runs out of blood, he just whack, right, double taps you on the shoulder with his club. You would take 1 harm. So you need to roll the take harm move.
Alright.
Actually, wait, how much armor you got?
2.
Okay, so you don't actually take any damage. You should still roll harm at +0, though, because it could cause a complication. He's still fighting back, right?
Yeah, let's see here. I have dermoplating, so I think this subtracts it by 2. Alright. Okay, so
yes, when you suffer harm, even 0 harm or S harm.
I rolled an 8 minus 2, 6. I think that's...
You're in the clear.
Okay, fine. Okay, cool.
Yeah. This guy's not a serious fighter. Civilians unused to violence can take about 1 harm. So, you did 3. So yeah, like, this guy's, you just get him up under the ribs, get him right in the heart, and just twist, pull. If you do 1 stab, there's no blood spatter. You got a little bit of blood on your collar, because obviously he started puking up some, and he just drops to the floor, and you're armed and armored, dude, so, like, a fucking baton does nothing.
So, let's take a moment, clean off my blade, wipe off, end the call. Beep.
You hear over the line, Lupo? Click.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's make things weird. Let's get some. Let's see. Does he have alcohol in here? What flammable liquids do we have in this place? Do we have any?
Yeah, he's probably got some booze.
Yeah, let's splash some booze on this dude. Let's splash some booze over there, over here. Let's get some burnables right here. And
I do want to say, because you got extra intel, by the way. While you're rifling through, you probably find some nondescript RGC documents you can use later.
Oh, these are useful. Nice. Pocket them. Oh, okay. Of course he has a lighter. Everyone has a lighter.
Okay, so we'll do this in 2 stages. 1, outside, Odin. You've walked him through. You're doing the thing. He's, he lets you know he's got the target, and then he starts futzing around, and you're like, okay, what's going on? In the distance, Odin, you start to hear sirens, because you are also part of the... Your help interfere means you're linked to what happens, so you're on the hook too if this goes wrong.
Yeah.
And second of all, so there's sirens going, which means you're racing against the clock. So I would like you,
oh shit!
I would like you, Claymore, to make me another act under pressure to cause your arson before the cops get here.
Okay, I have 1 cool, so that's not bad.
No.
This is me.
Yeah, Claymore's doing the thing. I'm just letting you know in the fiction. For instance, if you wanted to do your move where you get the fuck out, you could try it right now, but...
Is this once per mission or any time? Let's see. Just any time.
I think it's just whenever you need to get the fuck out.
Why not, I guess? Let's try.
So, let's resolve Claymore first, so go ahead.
Yep. Alright, here we go. So, I'm assuming, moving quickly applies, right?
Yes.
Alright, cool. So, roll double 4, so that's a 9. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think before I let you know what your hard bargain is, we should have Soldier Boy roll his exit strategy. The shit is hitting the fan. You were deciding to bail out, so roll mind, buddy.
Micro mission is so weird. See how this goes.
Weird.
That's 2 4s. That's a 9.
Okay. You have to choose 2 things to leave behind. Evidence, an objective, your credit, or your team.
Honestly, if you book without me, I'm not going to be mad.
I'm probably going to book without you, I'm sorry.
Alright, that's fine.
Okay, so you're going to leave your team behind.
And now, let's see. What would qualify for a mission objective?
Are you carrying any gear on you? Any mission stuff?
Besides my clothing and then, like, my comms, no, because a lot of shit's, like live fire stuff. So, let's see. How would I leave my stakes cred? I feel like more of actually the actual mission. So, I guess
you definitely have something relevant to the mission on you.
Oh?
Remember the data disk that has all of the mission on it?
Oh, yeah, you do in fact have the
job.
The job data on you.
Yeah.
Evidence.
So, what are 2 things you're going to leave?
Team and evidence.
Okay. Alright, so you hear the sirens. You, in a professional way, I'm sure, you yell at Claymore, "It's the fuzz, Scarper!" You just go hauling ass down the nearby alley. You definitely pass by a couple of a couple of red light cams, unfortunately, as you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You maybe leave a boot print through some mud.
If anything, Claymore, all of Claymore is evidence.
So, Claymore, there's your problem. Well, your tactical oversight and your external backup is gone, so, you can, in fact, pull off your plan to commit arson, but if you do so, you're gonna have to sneak, fight, muscle, talk your way past cops. Now, keep in mind, they're not gonna roll up for attack response. They're gonna be like a couple of patrol cars are gonna roll up to, like, they're gonna check in with the security guards and be like, hey, is something up? But they're gonna be here, and then there's going to be a fire for them to find. Or you could just forget the fire and try and get the fuck out.
Well, I definitely want to obfuscate what's going on here. Like, I know they're gonna know that this dude was murdered, but they're not gonna know why. It's like, why did they murder him and burn stuff? Was it corp related or something?
Steal some valuables from this room.
Well, I did. I stole information. So yeah, I'm gonna chance it with the cops. I'm gonna finish my arson. If I'm hoping they're gonna go up the normal route and I can get out some sort of weird back route.
All right.
Or fuck, maybe like how high up is this apartment?
A couple of stories.
I don't have cyber legs.
That's why
Just
you
get cyber legs.
And you don't have any climbing gear. All right. Okay.
No.
All right. You look at the window. Next time. Right. You throw his lighter. Fire goes up. So, you're gonna try and slip out the?
I'm gonna try and slip out the back.
The back stairs. Okay.
Yep.
I
Not the fire
know I'm
escape?
asking you to roll cool a lot, but I think this is another. You're acting to avoid danger. Roll cool again.
Yep. Here we go. I'm gonna get good. Let's see. 10? 10.
Yeah,
You do it. No problem. All right.
Okay, finally.
Fuck out of here.
You get out the back stairs as the smoke alarms start going off, and the security guards and the cops roll up and are busy trying to grab the hallway fire extinguisher. You just sneak out the back, pop the door, close it. Yeah, sure, it's been jimmied with a fucking machete, but whatever. You're outsies. You flip up your hood, you put in your earbuds, and you listen to bitchin' music as you walk away from a house fire.
This was all going so well at the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry,
guys have complicated a few things in the last 30 minutes of game time, but
I'm sorry. I wanted to do something weird and crazy. I really did.
I'm not blaming you. This one is on me.
Dallas rolled Snake Eyes and got a hard move dropped on him. And you decided to turn that into a thing, into a sub-plan, so that works.
I probably could have just scared the guy into not doing anything, but
No, but you
also,
decided to do the you decided to do what the computer machine that is not a person told you to do, which is neutralize threats. That's not a human being, that's a threat. Get rid of him.
Yeah. I marked XP.
Also, you and Lucky got XP from it, so not a total
Yes,
loss.
no, it makes sense that we turned this into a slight tangent. Okay, so you guys have a little bit more time to do the job if you want to, like, renegotiate anything, rejigger anything.
I do actually want to... can you pay credits to call in an extra contact, or can you just not?
Well, so, technically, you haven't established a contact, because you've used your gang.
Oh, Believers is a separate thing?
Yeah, it says right now, you add your believers
Then
as a contact.
I am going to use my contact.
Okay, so you want to declare a contact. Alright, so while you're thinking about how to make up for your last goof up, I do want to say, by the way, on the 7 o'clock news, fire in the apartment block. Men found, murdered. Unrecognizable burns, blah, blah, blah.
Possibly theft. No idea.
Gang retaliation? Corporate espionage? You be the judge.
So I'm going...
They do unfortunately have, they don't have any shots of Claymore, but they do have some back silhouette shots of someone with an outline suspiciously similar to Odin fleeing the scene.
So I am going to use the contact that I have on my sheet that you know.
Okay, you're going to call that person. All right.
Yes.
Let me, because I'm writing down contacts. I assume that means you're going to say that you owe this person.
Oh, yes. No, I'm going to owe this person.
All right.
I think
so. What are you looking for?
No, they owe it. No. I am going to look for basically some kind of defense or some kind of gear against drones, basically.
So you're looking for some anti-drone device.
Yes, and in exchange, I'm going to offer my contact. I'm going to offer her a copy of the blueprints we're after.
Okay. All right, roll style.
If I get Snake Eyes again. Okay, that's better. That's a 8.
Total?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Plus style.
10.
Yeah.
All right.
8 on the dice. So 10.
So you get what you want, and you get a little something extra. Either choose Intel or Gear.
I'm going to go Intel.
All right. So you don't have to give too much away to the audience at home or these guys, but how do you phrase this question? Is it like, hey, I'm doing a little thing, or is it like,
hey, Mom.
Oh. Oh, no.
what kind of resistance could I expect? That actually works. Like, what kind of if you were in Rio Grande's position, what kind of security would you hire? What could we expect to see?
Well, obviously, they're known for their drone automation, and they're hackers, of course. Matrix of Fortress. Trust me, I've tried this. But they probably have the usual, normal flesh and bones patrols, tac squads for on-site problems. So, I suppose that would be all you're looking for.
Yes. Okay, and then just some kind of equipment to deal with the drones.
Okay, so, I would say, do you want a weapon that can be used against drones, or do you want a device which can be used against drones?
What stat do weapons use?
Meat usually, unless you've got cyberware.
Okay, device then. Device it is.
Alright.
With my meat of -1, device it is.
Okay, so, and you're already paying something other than cred for this, so
yes,
we'll keep that in mind. You're going to scoop the blueprints as well.
Yes,
so basically, going to give you a small, because you work for a corporate that understands how comms work. That's your big thing,
Yes.
You, Stone & Sons is a telecoms and cyberware, so, and actually you have jamming on your cybercoms, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so basically, this is an external device with similar principle. It is a type of comms equipment that has plus jamming, basically, but it's like the equivalent of a cell phone jammer. It's like a black puck. It's got a range of probably a few dozen meters, and basically, if you put it near a drone or attach it to a drone, it'll send out a broad area jamming sequence, which will mean that it cannot be remote operated.
Okay.
You know that for most commercial and security tier drones, that means that they're basically useless. If they don't have an operator with them, their expert systems are not designed to know how to shoot people without orders, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's auto turrets that would still be able to shoot you, but most drones are oh, I can't. Nobody's telling me what to do. I guess I'll just loiter.
Error, no signal.
Signal loss kind of a stuff. They won't fall out of the sky or anything, but it will they'll probably stop doing whatever they're doing. For heavy shit like the Ladon drones, those actually do have some levels of autonomous, because autonomous is a tag. That probably just means that they only keep following whatever their last order was.
Which follow this guy or.
Well, that can be helpful if they're on search for targets, not eliminate targets or stuff. Yeah. So you get a little device that has a jamming tag that is specifically designed to fuck with drones.
And it's one that I can leave, as
Yes.
opposed to my eye, which is just jam stuff near me.
Yeah, it is a portable device of a similar jamming radius to your own jam.
Oh, thank you. I will have the blueprints to you by such and such time.
All right.
Well, that was unfortunate. I guess I technically get XP for that.
I think so.
My second directive.
Yeah, because that's when you
Well,
put your
there is
responsibility to X ahead of the mission. Yep.
Yeah.
So, if this was a weird what are those HBO short series?
Mhm.
This feels like this was the big stinger at the end of being oh shit, and this is the after credits bit, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it's I'm basically, if we're doing this and framing it in a TV sense, it's me talking to someone on the other side of a desk that is shrouded in darkness.
Yeah.
I'm just that I apparently have called Mother. That would be the ending stinger. It's okay, Mother.
Just put
dong
it in
dong.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
that could have gone better.
We can cover with him.
It could have gone way.
Hey, I mean, listen, it's Cyberpunk. Things were going too smooth.
Yeah.
I also think that.
So I think we're wrapping up. So he's got the device. He's got a little tech thing he needs, and you've got the torch as well. So
I think that ends. I think we start action phase.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I think we're ready to move to the action phase.
I'll have the clock.
is there any last thing with you think would focus under legwork you want to get done,
No.
or you got all your legwork ready?
No, I just gotta set the plan up, and then I still have the 2 plan holds for when we do the mission.
Yeah, you still got 2 holds because you still have your, even though you decided not to go right the fuck then, you still do in fact have your
View.
Yeah, you got your vehicle set up, stashed off site.
And just in case
And
we
I
have
have-
explosives somehow, but that's
I have an intel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have a few intel left to spread out. I think, does everybody at this point have 1 intel, individually?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so let me total up the legwork clock really quick, because I am supposed to dramatically reveal it to you guys at certain points. So
Oh no.
Oh, no.
let's see. I'm tabbing through multiple things, so I'm wildly
I'll
out of
probably
sync
add
here. So
the
let's see.
last hour added there, but we'll see.
Also, I found the sad Italian music. Omega.
So hey, fun times. Before you guys go into your action phase, I'd like to let you guys know you are at 2100.
Oh.
The target has heard clear but unconfirmed rumors, so the action clock is actually started as well.
Is that like the 3rd and the 4th?
That's bad.
What was that, X? Sorry?
How big is the action clock? Is it 4 steps?
No, the action clock is the same size as the legwork clock. So you've only filled in the first segment on that. Basically, you're at, I can say this because we're about to go into the action phase, you're at 1500. The target is more alert than usual. Gee, one of their guys was stabbed. Why would they be alert? It's not heavy, but RGC has definitely got the impression that maybe something's going on. Maybe we should be paying attention today.
Hey, one of our security dudes got murdered. You think something's happening?
He didn't keep any of his work files at home, did he?
Take any of his ID and key card and shit.
You just see
He could have. He took intel. You could. That would possibly cause complications, but he could totally say he pinched that guy's corporate ID card.
Yeah.
You can. So the way reveal knowledge is, you reveal your knowledge of the opposition's preparations, disposition, or environment. You describe how you discover that information. Spend intel. You gain +1 forward to the opportunity offered. So yeah, he could totally be like, oh yeah, no, I got today's access code. It was in his file. We'll cover all that tomorrow though, or not tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Next time. So this was a good session.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. So that was the sprawl, basically, guys. If we're all done with stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking at it. Yeah,
we have fun.
We only progressed halfway. We're okay. We didn't burn down the house.
No, you have.
We had 3 more steps.
Well, no, we did burn down the house. But
Yeah, I totally burned down the house. What
You
talking
figuratively
about?
burned. You literally burned down a house.
we
You not
literally
figuratively
burned down the house, not
Well, we
figuratively.
didn't turn the street. We didn't burn the city.
And to
If we
X's
burn
point,
the
you have
city-
three unblocked sections of the legwork phase. So when you go to get paid, assuming that somehow you don't fuck things up in the job, you will have a +3 to this. So
Yeah.
you are actually well on your way to actually getting your payday, which is good.
Yeah, we're okay.
All right. So
It's just,
any questions, comments, or concerns right now before we end the recording?
So
It'd be
I
fun.
assume we didn't actually talk about this, but I assume similarly to Lucky, if I renege on my co-deal,
That will
I have a
more
-1.
narrative consequences. You didn't explicitly
I
mechanic
see.
that, but I'm basically, normally you should pay 1 cred for that, but I'm like, no, you're arranging alternate payment. If you don't arrange alternate payment, that may be may be that you lose some money from your corporate slush fund, or that may be that we have an awkward conversation in character. Like, we'll figure out what's appropriate, because there are post-game phases as well that get certain things advanced, so, like, that could cause problems for your associates with the corporation you work with, because they're like, okay, well, we didn't get our money back, so we're gonna figure it out.
So was that weird sub up we did to add 2 or 1 to the track?
I think it was 2 total.
Fuck. We're
Like,
pretty
let's see.
quiet, huh?
Well, yeah, we weren't quiet. That was the thing. We got the
No,
comps
okay, it only added
involved.
1.
Okay.
I did my math. So the first jump, because you start at 12, nothing's going on. The first jump was when you guys did in fact spend a lot of time circling the block. I was like, okay, we've been playing for like an hour and a half. I think it's fair. We'll move up the legwork clock 1.
Yeah.
Dallas rolled his miss. I moved up the legwork clock, and then somewhere in there was a failure or something that got advanced the relevant clock. So I was like, okay.
I think that was mine.
that was
I
you.
think it was when you did the arson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Makes sense, makes
I
sense.
moved it up a couple. So they're not, like I said, they're not super jazzed, but they're like a little bit jazzed.
They're like, I think something might happen, but they're not like full alert.
Or like actually
I'll
like
do battle station.
security people keep do your job today.
Yeah.
They're probably like, we gotta look into this.
Yeah, they'll send a corporate insurance investigator to double check. And hypothetically, that could, especially if you guys end up advancing the corporate clock on Rio Grande, that could turn into, like, future job complications.
Yeah.
But that's
Is Rio
all
Grande the one
leadership.
we all collectively fucked over in...
No, that was Pacifica Investments.
Okay.
So there are 2 corporate clocks that are quite far advanced.
Pacifica and...
Yeah, Pacifica and Northwest are both, like... I don't remember. This is actually a funny thing to check, so let's...
I know Northwest was the one I kept, like, fucking over.
They got boned a little bit. So Northwest and Pacifica, because I think everybody got in on both those jobs.
I chose to think Northwest for my thing. Yeah.
But
because the whole everyone was technically there at the Pacifica Bank job.
Yeah,
I was
on
really
opposite
hoping.
end.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping someone was gonna pick Stone and Sons for their target, because I would have had whatever that mission be what caused this to my face.
Cause your accident. Yeah, sadly we didn't go there.
I could have. But
I have a backstory on that, but
that said, I do think this worked out because this job works out because they wanted me to pick from the 2 corps that are, or one of the corps that have the lower clocks but have some advancement. So when we started the game, Disney, Stone and Sons, and Suzaku have nothing, right? Like they're not after you guys at all. It was Cross Nexus and Rio Grande, so I decided, I'm like, okay, so it doesn't make sense for me to like call out Odin to fuck over Cross Nexus like right away. That sounds like a future fun job problem. But you did your job specifically against Rio Grande before, so I can involve both those corps and have your Cross Nexus contact to be like, hey, I need you to do me a flavor. I need you to steal me some shit.
Like I've done this before for you. Yeah, I'll do another one.
I can't wait until we do something against Disney and have to fight killer animatronics.
That'd be hilarious because
killer cyberpunk animatronics.
It's gonna be like Five Nights at Freddy's.
With fucking machine guns.
No, it's gonna be. Oh god, did you ever see that movie? That's basically like they made a like B horror movie, Five Nights at Freddy movie.
Yeah, with Nicolas Cage. It's not that great.
No. Are you joking? It's one of the worst best movies. I will say.
The Nicolas Cage bits are good.
Oh, so pretty much it's so bad it's good sort of thing.
Yes.
But alright, so if we don't have any furthermore yak attacks, I can go ahead and cut the recording, say goodbye everybody, and we'll see you guys next time for the action phase.
See ya.
Action.
Prepare for
Action.
Trouble.
stuff.
Prepare for action and make it action.